spend some time with the dead.
On demand almost. We'd be like, hey, can you like touch the duck or make it go off? And it would just start lighting up and going crazy.
Why should we be afraid of you?
Hello and welcome to What Goes Bump Tonight. I'm your host, Riley Clark, and alongside me as always is
Trevor Jensen.
And tonight, our very special guest, Ben from Afterlife Road Productions.
How's it going?
The only, the one, the specialist. My boy from the Michigans too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, is your like demographics like not all Michigan? Like, how does it divide up?
No,
Is
not
it-
we've been
surprisingly
talking to literally everybody from a spattering of everywhere. Like last
from
couple were
Ohio.
Texas. There was a few from Canada. You know, it's like what?
Our good friend Eric
Wow.
Freeman, he's from Tennessee. That'll be on
Okay.
next
Okay.
month.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
global, baby.
Yeah, for us it's like pretty much like mostly Michigan, a little bit here and there, but then like a lot of Colorado for some reason. I didn't.
That's wild.
Yeah, I
Michigan
never-
and Colorado actually have tons of connections.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, a lot
Go
of
on.
Michigan people moved to Colorado, and a lot of Colorado people
Yeah.
moved to Michigan.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So
'cause
my
I was
boy-
like, I've never been to Colorado. What's that all about?
I've never either.
I've been there once.
So Riley turned me on to the fact that you have a podcast, sir.
Yes, I do. 10 episodes right now. Hoping to have another season come out close to Halloween time. Maybe
Yeah.
a little bit after Halloween time. But yeah, first season of the podcast is still up and everything.
Yeah, dude, we were
Did
looking
that
at it,
around last Halloween.
and you have some
Yeah,
really
we peeped some of the
guests,
episodes, and
man.
holy shit, bro.
Yeah, I kind of shot myself in the foot getting all the like really high profile guests in the first season. So now this season, I'm like, yeah. Like people will come to me like, "Hey, can I be in your show?" I'm like, "What did you
Yeah,
film
but-
every episode of the TV show Ghost Hunters?" Like that's the kind of guest I have on the first
Do
season.
you own
so.
Paraflix?
Yeah, like, do you just have a movie on Paraflix, or do you like own Paraflix? Like,
Yeah,
That's
that's
the
wild.
bar
How
I
did
set,
you
yeah.
how did you like get yourself entwined with these people to get them to come on and speak with you?
Right, these are like super reputable.
This is
like,
people we want
paranormal-
on.
yeah,
well,
like
I mean,
so they're so
it-
reputable.
they were the only 10 out of like the 100 or so people that got back to me. So that's how I got them on. They were pretty. All of them are really nice and receptive.
Yeah.
And I interviewed all of them before I even had the podcast up and running. So they were willing to talk with someone who just said, "I'm launching a podcast next month." So you guys
So it was
already
like
have
you're the
me-
feelers, so I don't just throw you to the wolves.
Yeah. So you guys have a reputation and stuff. So like you can follow my lead if you want. These people are very receptive and they're great conversation. I think all of them I talked to for about like an hour or so after we stopped, recording this chit chatting and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
for
they're-
sure.
they're-
We generally do that too.
Yeah.
like much every guest that I've had, unless they were busy or we were busy after, like we've just sat and just
Shut the
talked
shit, basically.
until it
That's
was like, okay, like we have to shut it down now until next time.
I know. And another funny thing too was like all these people, I don't know how like it happened to be where all of them like we had a shared investigation at some point. I mean, a lot of them it was like Eloise Asylum because I know like every show is going there nowadays, But
Yeah.
for some of them it was like an obscure place, maybe not in Michigan, but in I've been to other states obviously. I'm not one of those people that only films like one spot.
Right.
I tend to film a lot in Michigan because I'm from Michigan, but
Yeah, it's kind of
yeah, that
hard
was
not
kinda
to.
cool.
Right, we have so much
I know,
history
I
that
know.
no one knows about here.
I know, and it's crazy.
It is, and it's crazy. Like if you think back, like in Michigan's history too, like so much of it wasn't even written down or anything. It's just stories that people have
Yeah,
told.
that's the thing that I have trouble with is like I can't find any like written historical documents on a lot of the places that I'm looking for information on. And if there is information, it's one Google website that is like very suspect.
The amount of investigations, like especially in like the early years of like me investigating and just like trying to find, because my thing has always been like I'm not really interested in going to like the big places that like everyone goes to because I'm kind of bored of them. Like I
Right.
mean,
It's very overwashed.
There's a
exactly,
thousand
like
videos on these places.
exactly, and they, like over time, the actual history and actual experiences get kind of distilled down to like maybe something that's not
Oh yeah,
entirely
and it's
accurate.
super muddy, and people are like coming up with
Right.
their own stories about demons.
I know, and it's just ridiculous. So my thing has always been I love like the hidden histories, and I think the
Yeah, for sure.
paranormal reveals so much about history that if you're
It
interested in the
does.
paranormal, you can find so much about like things that went on in your local town in the past that no
Mhm.
one would have ever known about. And the amount of times, especially in the earlier, trying to find like the most obscure haunted location, I end up on a like discussion forum on like this obscure website I've never been able to find again about this like abandoned house that's
Yeah.
no longer standing and it's now just an open plot of field. And I go out there and I
Yep.
investigate and I try to convince people, no, 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 I saw a discussion board forum on this
Just check
random
it out.
website 20 years ago about
Yep.
a demolished abandoned house that used to stand here. I know none of you know about this house, and I'm not able to find this website again, but I swear it existed.
I swear.
Yeah.
That's literally what Riley did with our last investigation that we went on. And honest to God, I'd say it's probably the craziest investigation I've ever
Yeah.
been a part of. And it's like it was a random park basically that we had to like sneak stealth our way in off kayaks, which is fucking sweet. And then all of a sudden it's like the spirits had never spoken to anybody and it was like, yo, like hear this.
It was craziness.
Yeah, is that the thing you were going on boats? I saw it on Instagram. You guys were on like a bunch of boats doing something.
Yeah, we had like a water field day last weekend when we
Yeah.
were like doing the podcast on a boat, and then we were like, all right, now the investigation, we're gonna kayak out to a location. It was like a
Oh yeah.
5 mile fucking kayak in the middle
I
of the
was like,
fucking night.
I was like telling them, I'm like, guys, we gotta go. Like, it was like 10 o'clock. I was like, we gotta go, we gotta go. And they're like, it's just like right there. I'm like, no, it's like a 30-minute kayak. Like, we
Not
gotta go
only
in the
that,
dark.
we went through like literal swamp. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't fucking pond at one point, it
Dang.
was swamp.
That's this dedication right there. Dedication.
It
I
was.
think I've only been on one investigation that was not within reasonable driving distance, and we had to like get like a place to stay. For me, it's all
I
about
love
like
that
is
though.
it within driving distance or like am I like out of town for other reasons and
Mhm.
Yeah.
like able to squeeze in. So I admire your dedication to the craft.
Yeah, it was like a spur of the moment thing where Riley's like, I got 3 kayaks. Like, hey, there's this location that's like pretty reasonable for us to get to without having to do a
And I
whole
was like,
lot.
dude, I guarantee you it's probably gonna be crazy because there's like 6 generations of people that lived at this abandoned farm essentially.
And then it was insane. I'll give you
Yeah.
this nugget so I don't give away too much, but like I'm 99% positive that we spoke to the sole proprietor of the farm, like the original
Wow.
person that was there, and then he basically confirmed for us that he was overseeing us all night and that there is an afterlife and like what in like that it's
It's crazy.
transient, like you can go and come from the afterlife is what basically it said. It's like,
So it's like road.
what the fuck is happening?
It is like a road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah. That's what
Whoa.
I've always thought too. It's like I don't think that intelligent spirits are just stuck here. Like
Yeah.
I think that they can like easily permeate their way back and forth wherever they want to go, and that depending on if it's this dimension or whatever dimension or wherever they want to go is that's that.
Yeah. I buy that. I mean, for the past like 7 years, I've been like trying to explain that Afterlife Road is a valid name for a.
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
it's like
Oh, yeah, I
metaphor.
here's
You
the
know,
euphemism and here's the
yeah,
clever. Like what do you
exactly,
want?
exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But going back to the kayaking. So, what does stealth kayaking entail? Just because it was dark, or was it like in the daytime and you like legit like, stealth
No, it
kayaking?
was
No, it
legit
was 10
blackness.
o'clock at night.
The
All we
moonlight
Okay.
was like the only light.
Yeah, moonlight was all we
Okay.
had. And
So
then
it's just because it was dark, so that's what made it
Yeah,
stealth,
we didn't really
right?
have to be quiet, but there were houses on
No.
the pond and stuff. But
We
I'm pretty
Oh, I
could
get
have
that,
just
yeah.
pulled up to the park, honestly.
yeah, we could have not made it so hard on ourselves, but it was cooler that way.
It
No,
was so much more
the
fun with the
adventurous
kayaking
spirit, you know?
element.
I'm pretty sure we got so much activity because like I respect that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I gotta stop being so lazy. Maybe that's my problem.
How does that be? There is one thing that I do want to say. You are the like if there's an award to give to anybody, the one paranormal investigator that I've seen go underground the most on their videos and when I was with them, that would be you. Every like dark well you can go in, you're down there.
No, but did you see? There's a paranormal museum that just opened up in Lansing, and I remember the
Yup,
Lansing
I
area.
just watched
Yeah, okay.
that video.
Yeah,
I
and
was like, this
yeah,
motherfucker.
and this oddity store has been around in Lansing for years, and they just like acquired the space next to them and opened up a museum of all of the artifacts they didn't want
That's
out.
so cool.
And then they told us like the day of, like he sent like this like sketch picture of like down this like hole, and he's like, "You'll be the
Yeah.
first to investigate the hole." I'm like, "What does that mean?" Because I've been to the museum before, and I toured the museum, and then
Yeah.
that's when like I talked to him about an investigation. I'm like, "I don't remember a hole. What are you talking about?"
They're like,
And
here's
this
a
was-
manhole.
Yeah, and like you had to go down the sketch ladder. It was like, because like like he went down, his wife went down, my girlfriend went down, and they're all like, very light and stuff. And I go down, and the whole thing starts like wobbling, and I'm like,
You're like,
scary.
fuck you, we're about to
Yeah,
all go
I'm gonna
down.
die. I'm like, get your spirit boxes out, and I'm about to become a ghost, and I'm gonna say something.
You
You
will
know?
feel my spirit leave.
I know. Get the thermal on me, but yeah.
Oh my goodness.
No, and even Stimson Hospital, a place I've investigated so many times. I think the first ever time I went like in a crawl space, underground type of space was here at the
Yeah.
hospital, and there was like a bunch of teams going out. This one time they invited me like kind of last minute to tag along, so I showed up, and it was one of those things that wasn't like my gig. I wasn't there filming for me. I was there as like a special guest. So when I'm not filming and I'm there as a special guest, I don't know. I
Yeah.
try to be entertaining.
You definitely
In
are.
a way
yeah,
that I'm not
definitely
when
are.
I'm behind the camera filming. So they
Right.
have this
Dude,
like
when we-
crawl space in the morgue of this hospital that they say an angry entity travels between to get to the other areas of like the first and second floor.
Oh shit.
So I crawl in there. I get on this like chair and I
Maybe,
crawl in
maybe,
this
maybe.
crawl space, and they have like handprints on the wall of like this oversized hand that's like 2 or 3 times the size of my hand. I'm like, who the
Oh,
fuck is
shit.
in this crawl space? Like, how do they even
A gorilla.
get in here? Yeah. So I get in this crawl space, and as soon as I hit a spider web, I turn around. But
Yeah,
that
that's a
was
no
my
for
first
me.
exposure. Yeah. And ever since, like you said, I'm willing to
Creepy dark
take it
places.
underground. Yeah. That's where the ghosts are.
Dude, claustrophobia kicks in so hard though. Where it's
I
like,
know,
whoa, whoa,
I know.
whoa.
Ghosts like the underground spots. I mean, why else would people be scared to go to a basement?
It's also colder down there and it gets
Yeah.
hot as fuck out here.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Ghosts are gonna like a chill spot, even if it is a
Okay.
little creepy. And spiders.
I have a hot take.
Hot
You
takes.
mentioned
Hot
basements.
take. We
You
love hot
mentioned
takes.
basements. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What is scarier, basements or attics?
Ooh. Basements.
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 Okay, because I'm team attic. That's why. I mean, you could probably
Really?
have a hot take. Yeah,
I-
yeah. I feel like every attic I've been on, and like an investigation, has been like.
I don't think
scarier.
we've got to do enough attic locations for real.
I ain't even been in enough attics in my life. To
I've been
say
in many
Okay,
more
okay,
basements
okay.
than I have attics.
we got
I feel
another
like
basement.
It's
the
here.
also
attic-
I've blown insulation in attics too, and that sucked ass.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I feel like attics, you have this more sense of like being trapped there, like being cornered, because
Right.
it's like, especially like if
Ooh,
you're on
yeah,
like a
'cause there's
3
only
or
one
4
in and out.
story building. Yeah, and if you're
Yeah.
like multiple stories, you have to like, you're stuck there. And a basement, you
Or-
can probably maybe get past it, and you just go up 1 floor and get out. You have to go down like 3 or 4
I'd almost feel
stories.
like you'd flip that though, because like if you're in like a house upstairs attic and you can see where the drywall for the ceiling is, if you're fucking brave enough, you can just pencil dive through it and it's not gonna hold you. Like, I'm just saying.
That too. But also, I don't. Can you outrun a ghost? I mean, I don't.
Dude, I don't think you can.
I don't think
know.
you can. They could just go through the walls and you're screwed.
Not only that, like are they fucking? Can they transport themselves in like a blink of an eye and be like, I'm there, bitch.
Right.
Yeah, I feel
Right.
like you would see them, you would turn, and then they'd just be in, like in the scary movies, they'd just be in front of you again.
Jump scares were invented by ghosts because ghosts are real.
Whoa. That blew my mind.
Whoa, mine
Yeah.
is blown.
Whoa. Absolutely.
So, what was your first ever investigation, and when was it?
We got so off track. You're like, let's get back to
I know.
the
I was like,
questions,
I
guys.
gotta get back to like, I want to know
You're
the
like,
brass
I'm
tacks.
I'm sick about the addicts. Let's get back to your first
No,
investigation.
because I was like, if we start talking about addicts, then I'm gonna start talking about aliens, and then we're gonna start talking about Bigfoot.
We're not there
and
yet.
we're not there yet.
Oh, and I was gonna say, like, okay, funny you mention aliens because, like, the gym I go to always plays Ghost Adventures on the TVs. And I think that's fucking
I love that.
hilarious. And I always
That's so
I always
awesome.
thought it was because like they knew I was there. But today they played some dumb UFO show. I'm like, no, put back Ghost Adventures. It was like
Because
UFO,
ghosts
I
are
and
wanted
then
to
mainstream
see
now.
and then
big
it,
swole Zach Baggins
yeah,
to
and
get
then it,
swole.
yeah, it was like inspiration. And then
Exactly.
it went from UFO to like Dr. Phil. I'm like, is Dr. Phil talking about? Because it's all
And let's start
captioned.
throwing
I don't have
chairs.
Why would
Like,
you
audio.
want to watch that?
Yeah,
yeah,
so
I
I was
want to see people
mad. So
throwing
funny,
chairs if that's what we're watching.
yeah, so funny you mentioned the UFOs and alien stuff because that's been on my
Have
mind
you ever
today.
seen an alien or a UFO in real life, though? For realsies?
No,
No.
no, have you?
Not aliens, but I'm 90% positive we've seen UFOs.
I know for sure I have.
Yeah,
I
I'm
dig it.
pretty positive. Pretty
I know
positive
people
that
that
when I
have.
was
I
with Tommy last time I saw one.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, we were
Yeah.
doing an investigation and we were taking a break, and I was just laying in the cemetery staring up, and then I saw like this weird light, and it was like zipping, stopped, went down, did like a V, and then like went back the other way way faster, and I was like, that's not a comet. Like, what was
Comets
that?
don't do that.
Dang, where was this at? What cemetery?
Nunica Cemetery. Our
Oh,
next
Nunica?
video to come out, but like I don't think I
At
got
Nunica?
any of that on video. Yeah, it
No,
was weird as
we were literally
shit.
taking a break.
I went to
Yeah, I
Nunica
was just
once.
like
It was
kicking
like
back,
windy as
just
heck.
watching. Yeah, it was also like people were getting it on the highway all night. So
Uh-huh.
like at one point you could just hear motorcycles just fucking ripping for like an hour.
Yep. No, when we went to Nunica, it was like super windy. We were like already kind of like not wanting to like stay as long as we planned. Then this like one truck kept coming into the cemetery, doing a circle through, leaving. 10 minutes later, same truck came through, left. After 4
What?
times coming in, another car comes behind him. They stop
Oh,
and then they just leave. So I don't know if they were trying to do something there and they saw us and they kept
what?
like trying to like do laps until we left, but then we left. But
They're probably bringing their
Aliens.
girlfriends there or something to like show off, and they
I
realized
don't
that you guys
know.
were
Yeah, it
actually
was
doing the real thing.
true. But yeah, it was kind of sketchy. But
It is sketchy. Like we've been rolled up on investigations
Yeah,
where
it's cemeteries. I mean, you just gotta kind of expect
yeah,
it.
like you'll be like, oh fuck, what's happening? And then like for us, 100% of the time has been awesome encounters with people where they're super friendly and they're all about paranormal stuff. But
Yeah.
encounters like that, it's like I think it's just inevitable you'll run into other people. Like it happens.
But we
Yeah.
love cemeteries probably as much as you do.
I think it's some of the most fun that I have investigating, just because to me, it's like where else are you gonna get more activity other than where a bunch of spirits are laid to rest? You know?
exactly, like I've always said, like if you want to find a ghost, you go where there's dead bodies, right?
Yeah.
So you go to a cemetery or a hospital, and it's very hard to get into a hospital,
Yeah.
unless you take extreme, you know.
Unless you're a
You know.
nurse and you're like, I'm
Yeah.
bringing my spirit tools with me.
That's right. That's right. So cemeteries. I mean, that's how I started. Me and my friends
Yep.
at
The best
MSU.
evidence
To
we've
answer,
ever captured is from a cemetery.
yeah. To answer your question about first investigations, in 2017, I was a freshman at Michigan State University, and they have this thing during like orientation.
Go Wolverines.
Yeah, ghost burns, and
Yeah.
they have this thing where you go around and you learn about all the clubs like before class
Yeah.
start. and it's all the clubs you expect, like sports teams.
Don't tell me they had a paranormal club though.
Well, this girl dressed up as a ghost jumped in front of me, handed me a handwritten like sheet of paper, saying to go to this random room in a random lecture hall never heard of because I was a freshman. Wednesday
Yeah.
night at 7 p.m. for the paranormal club. So I thought, oh,
Dude.
that was interesting, but I can't
I
be the
should check
first
this
one
out.
there. Yeah, I can't be the first one there. Like, who the fuck is going to a
You were
paranormal
the
club
only
at
one
MSU?
there.
And I show up like 10 minutes late, and I couldn't get in the room. There was 130
Oh no.
people. Turns out MSU has
Holy shit.
one of the largest paranormal clubs in definitely the
What?
Midwest. I was talking on going back to the podcast about
Where do they investigate?
yeah, you know the show Paranormal State, like Penn State.
Yeah.
Turns out they all know about MSU Paranormal Club because I mean all the NDAs I signed are probably long extinct, but when I was in the club, they were trying to do a Paranormal State reboot, and they kept emailing MSU Paranormal wanting us to be the stars of the reboot. And I don't think the
What?
reboot ever got off the ground, and the contracts were shit, so I never signed them anyways. But I was the
Right.
president for a year of the for a year of my schooling of the paranormal club. So
Damn.
just in that 1 year, I got like I talked with the producers, like everyone knows about MSU Paranormal Club,
That's
which they really love,
crazy.
and I never would have known. And that's how I kind of got my start. I went to the club and like
Yeah.
was swamped, and then over the next couple of weeks, because they have a big investigation for Halloween, and that kind of weeds everyone out. So up until Halloween, there's like 130, and after the investigation, there's like 25 because everyone gets like scared of the investigation.
You're like, I can't do this.
Yeah, no, legit. Like they always do an investigation in this huge like location, like a huge cemetery or like multiple buildings or something where you can split up
Mhm.
and stuff and and it be okay. But then I became friends with like, 4 or 5, people in the club, like, close friends with these people. And
Yeah.
me being a documentary film minor at MSU, I was like, hey, we should film an investigation in the club and, I was going
Hell
to do like a
yeah.
little school project on it. Then I was like, hey, it was so chaotic with 130 fucking students running around this place. Let's
Yeah.
go back. Yeah, I was like, let's go back the next day and just get like some daytime like B-roll shots. It was impossible to get B-roll with all those people
Oh
running
yeah.
around. And then we ended up doing our own investigation the next day. And I was like, this is better footage than I got last night. Let's just like post this. But then that wouldn't apply to like the whole like I'm an MSU student talking about an MSU club. So it wouldn't really apply to any like school
Right.
projects. So I just wanted to put it to YouTube. And YouTube had a stupid rule at the time. I don't know if you remember back then where if you were a new channel, you can only post a 10-minute video. So
We weren't
if
around
you like
those YouTube days yet.
Nope.
okay, yeah. So at the time, you could only post up to 10 minutes if you were a new channel.
Oh,
So
it's
I had to
stupid.
divide this video of us doing like a daytime investigation up until 2 parts. And I was like,
Oh my god.
that's so stupid. What if someone finds this and thinks to themselves, oh, I'm gonna subscribe because we just did this video for us, like for our sake,
Yeah.
because it wasn't gonna
Yep.
be used for any project or anything. I was a freshman in college. I didn't care about any.
That's what we did the podcast as, was for us too. We started
Exactly.
everything for us.
Exactly. But in the back of my mind, I was like, this is just for us. But if someone sees there's 2 videos, they might think it's a series and might subscribe, and then I'm in some like trouble. People like bug
'Cause I had to
me
do more.
about my narcissist mind, So I
Yeah.
was like, I gotta do one more, just who cares? So we did an on-campus investigation. Those
Yep.
dweebs asked if MSU is haunted. There's claims of it being haunted. We have done 7 or 8 investigations on campus, and only one of the supposed haunted spots actually garnered activity for us. But we did an on-campus investigation for the 3rd video, and I was like, okay, maybe we got something going here because a lot of MSU people really
Right.
gravitate towards that MSU one. And I was in a lecture once, and they were talking about like the ghost of this Mary Mayo Hall on campus, and I was like, oh, and so like the whole legend about this hall is like the attic is locked to students,
Yep.
and turns out it's locked because like there's like all the pipe and stuff, and it's like burning hot. If you touch it, like you'll burn yourself. So it's like
Oh
fucking
yeah.
dangerous. And there's
Yeah,
like
so it's like,
legit,
no.
yeah, and there's like legit asbestos up there. So
Yeah,
like
drunk
you gotta wear a
college kids
mask.
should not go
Yeah,
up there.
Nope.
no, yeah, but all the legends are like there was a Ouija board session gone wrong and it's cursed, and they hear stuff up here, and
Of
they
course.
see, and 'cause there's a window in there, so they see like an apparition in the locked door. But then you go up there and you see there's like a trash can that's filled with like trash, and like the maintenance people are like, yeah, when we go like up here to like check on the pipes, like we're up here, so people come up here. It's like the maintenance people. So we got permission from the university to do a paranormal investigation up there, but we ended up debunking the whole entire thing. So a lot of people in
That's
like
awesome.
this lecture
That's
hall
even
I was
better.
in were like, "Yeah, the Mary Mayo
Bullshit.
Hall." Yeah, yeah. Then I was like, "Oh, I was the guy. I went up there." They're like, "You're Mr. Mary Mayo?" I'm like, "Yeah." So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's me. So then it kind of took off, and I was like, I guess I have a series now. So that's how
Right.
the whole YouTube thing happened. I did that throughout college. So my first
I love that though.
investigation was with the paranormal club, and it was at this like big cemetery, just outside of Ann Arbor called Soup Cemetery. I don't know if you guys have
Mhm.
heard, yeah, you've heard of it.
Never heard of it.
Soup.
Soup?
SOOP. Two
The
O's,
soup?
no U.
Soup.
Soup. And it's big because it's like the cemetery itself, like dates back to the 1800s.
Oh shit, so
And
it's
then
gotta have a lot of like lake acreage.
yeah,
Mhm.
and then there's this like road that we
Mhm.
investigated the cemetery. I posted a video, and then this lady was like, the road is a portal to hell. Why didn't you investigate the road? Why did you go to the cemetery?" I'm like, "What are you talking
What?
about?" She's like, "When you're driving on the road, you
What?
see ghosts on the side of the road." I'm like, "Oh, so you see ghosts in the cemetery when you're driving on the road? So that means the cemetery is haunted
No, the
where
road.
we investigated?" So then we had to go back to investigate the road, and there was jack shit on the road. It was all in the cemetery.
There's
But
jack
there's also
shit.
yeah. But then there's also claims of like there's like this lake across the street, and they say like these
Mhm.
college kids, which was fitting for us being a bunch of college kids, drove like
Right.
drunkenly drove their car into the lake and drowned. Then
And drowned. Yep.
there's this legend, if you throw a rock into the lake at midnight and scream, their apparitions will rise from the water. So it was a lot of fun for 130 college kids throwing rocks into the lake and screaming at the top
Yeah.
of their lungs. So that was my first investigation.
Cool
That is
activity.
that's interesting because like our first real investigation, we did it with Ghost Hunts USA, and there was like 20 of no, there was like
12.
12 of us. But then we did at the Eloise Asylum, there was like 120 people, and it's
Yeah.
like I am so over that.
Yeah. So you understand why I was like, I like doing this, but I
Oh
don't
yeah,
like
If I
doing
was
it with this
leading
many
an
people.
investigation, I would like that.
yeah. Leading investigations is a lot different than just trying to like do a full blown investigation of a location for you.
Right, with tons of people.
Exactly.
That makes it a lot more difficult because you can't any noises you can't use them because there's so
Yeah,
many people.
EVPs are basically like non-existent when you're in a group of that big, and that sucks because
Exactly.
that's a huge part of the night.
Exactly. I mean, I always viewed because like when I was in the club and everything, it would mainly be like one big investigation a semester. And like I said, after the first one, it got down to like 20 or 30 people, and usually an investigation would be like 2 nights split amongst the club. So it would be like 10 to 15, which is more manageable, but still, I
Right.
prefer like 3 to 5. I think is like the sweet spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say that sounds like a sweet spot for me too.
Depending on the size of the location.
Right. Yeah.
That's what it really comes down to.
Yeah. If you got like a mouth, like if like you've been to Mouth too, duh. But like that location,
Wait, I've been
3
to
to 4
Mouth?
people, I think. Yeah, I think 3 to 4 people probably is maxed for a location like that.
Yeah, but you also need, maybe a fourth or fifth person to get in the well with you if you get lonely underground.
That's
Oh,
true. How else do you get a pig pen going down in the well?
I know. Yeah, so there's two sides to every coin.
That is
There's-
very
there's-
true.
You've got some interesting stuff at Mouth, haven't you?
Yeah, the first time I went to Mouth, and I know I apologize in advance to Tommy Tombstone, who's kind of pissed off at us because we both, I feel like, hyped it up. But I went with Ferris the fam. You know Kyle and Trina Ferris?
I know Kyle.
Yeah. Yeah. I went with them to Mouse Cemetery. There's a cat.
Yep, that's Button.
Okay. Okay, just
That's
making
Button.
sure it wasn't
He's
a
a
ghost.
pirate.
Okay. Because like I
No,
said,
it's a ghost
sometimes
cat.
the
That Button's a ghost cat.
Okay, I stand
He
corrected.
looks good in that background shot, though.
I
Not gonna
know.
lie.
I
Cut
know.
him
Take
real
it.
good in there.
Screenshot that. But yeah,
Background right there.
I went to Mouse with them, and I wasn't really expecting much because I kind of rolled in like
Yep.
I was really busy that day. I wasn't really in the mood to investigate, and I kind of rolled in when it was still light out. I'm like,
Right.
this place ain't creepy, you know. But then because I had a 360 camera I was borrowing at the time, so I was trying to get some 360 shots.
Yeah.
So when you get 360 shots, you have to set up a camera and then kind of like hide behind a tree because you'll be in the frame, you
Yeah.
know. So I was hiding
Right.
behind a tree while I was getting a 360 shot, and then I heard loud footsteps come up behind me, and I was like getting mad because I told Kyle, I told Trina, I told everyone there. I was like, when I have a
You're like,
360
dude, I'm
camera,
fucking doing this.
yeah, do not ruin this. So I was getting mad, and I was about to turn around and snap, and then like, hey, you know, I was filming a 360. There was no one there.
Oh
So
shit.
yeah. So then later in the night, we're doing a spirit box, and I see a shadow walk behind a tree, and I'm like,
Oh
oh,
shit.
there's someone there. Then Trina was like, oh, I saw that too. I'm like, wait, what tree? You know, just to clarify. And it was the same tree. Not only that I saw the shadow figure, but the same tree I was hiding behind when I heard the footsteps. So that same tree heard footsteps, and two people saw a shadow figure.
Damn, dude. That's honestly crazy because that's where we've caught 2 full body apparitions in photos. So it's like, dude, I definitely think there's a shadow figure that walks around there.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
menacing shadow figure. He like
Yeah.
stalks you.
Yeah, it was tall too. That's the weird part. Like it was definitely a shadow.
Just like our
because
photo.
he was
Like
tall.
our photo. Our photo.
Oh, you got a photo?
Yeah,
Do
photo.
you want to see the photos?
I want to see the photo. Show me the photo.
Yeah, so there's 2
Okay.
actually. One is like
So it actually was just the anniversary of this photo. the
literally
other
3
day.
years ago. It was
on
fucking
Monday.
crazy. But yeah,
Oh,
one
wow.
my wife caught from the parking lot while by the sign where it's like a huge black shadow.
Yeah, that's
She
what
was
we
too
saw.
scared to go in. And then the other
Alex was
one,
actually there.
I caught another one where it's standing next to a tree and it looks like a full body. You gotta share your screen there, buddy. This video actually went viral yesterday, and I was so happy.
Yesterday? Really?
Yeah, it went from like not ever having views to
3-year
1.9K.
anniversary of the most compelling photo
Wow.
What Goes Bump Tonight has ever captured. The Reaper at Mouse Cemetery.
Oh, I saw this on TikTok.
Yeah, is that not wild though? That it's just like
Yeah,
in that
I
photo,
saw it
like it like
yesterday.
moves
Yeah.
Today is
too.
the 3-year
Yeah.
anniversary of the most compelling
It
photo
moves into the
What Goes
frame.
Bump Tonight has ever
And then we
captured.
impose it, and you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
see it clearly
Mouse
there. It's
Cemetery.
so weird.
Like you can see the
And
head and
yeah,
everything.
and that goes into what I was saying too. The reason, because I've seen and captured like like shadows going
Yeah.
by, but they're always like the shape of a person. So my first thought is like maybe it's just a person, you know. But this
Mhm.
definitely I can say is the only legitimate like shadow figure because it was taller than a normal person, which would imply it
Yeah.
is a shadow of a person, but there was no person. So like yeah,
Whew,
so it was
that's
tall.
scary, dude.
That is
Yeah,
really the
and
actual shadow of a real. Oh god,
two of us saw it, and
that's creepy.
that reminds me of it. I mean, that is more like a mass. You know, you can tell that's a tall, dark mass. What we saw
Right.
was like you can see like a head and like the arms and stuff more defined, but like
So pull up
obviously
that
like
Crouch was
picture.
standing right there when
yeah,
Jenna took that photo,
Yeah.
and there was
Yeah.
nothing there.
right.
It would have had
I
to
mean,
have been at least 9 feet tall too.
yeah, that's what we saw, at least 9 feet tall. But if you're like doing a walking motion, then like obviously when you get to like here, you're kind of like not like swinging your arms and stuff.
Yeah.
It's as if you caught that one frame where it's like not walking, it's kind of like standing still. That's
I'll
kind
see if
of
I can't find the
kind of crazy.
picture of like would it be in the drive?
It might be.
Because like we caught a photo at Mouth as well, and it's like 100% looks like a person standing there, and like you can see the hands, the outline of like the head and everything. Fuck this. Yeah, it was like a Civil War looking person.
That's crazy because we saw that. We saw like a 8 to 10 foot shadow, and like I don't watch like obviously I follow you guys and I watch what you guys post on like TikTok and stuff and Instagram,
Right.
but I don't think you posted anything about that experience within like the couple months or weeks we went to Mouth. It was like this random
Mhm.
day. So it wouldn't have been in my subconscious. And I obviously there's like the handful of people I follow, like you guys, Tommy, and
Right.
all
The
those
the
people that like
homies.
yeah, the people I follow that I watch all their stuff, but I don't like watch paranormal stuff, so I'm not going on my way
Sure.
to like look up Mouth Cemetery videos or anything like that. It's just
Right.
whatever enters my feed or anything. So it's crazy we had a similar experience there.
Yeah. So we found the picture actually. So this is
Wow.
cool. I like this one. That's what I caught from the parking lot, where it's like you can almost see the hands and you can see the person like whole body standing there, and like the shoulders and everything, and like it almost looks like they have their hands different. Yeah, that's the actual like clean photo before we zoomed in or anything.
No,
Is
I
that the
can see
tree?
that.
Yep, that's the tree.
Is that the same tree you saw the shadow at? It's like right in the front.
Yeah, it's right
No,
next to the sign and the light. On the sign and the light are to the left of that tree.
no, for us it was like in the back of the cemetery there's that like wooden cross.
Yeah, yep.
That large tree to the left of that wooden cross is where
Okay, yeah.
it's kind of like if you follow the like used to be like the
The
shrine
foot
like
trail that
way
is
back.
there.
Yeah, like way back to the left there,
Mhm.
that big wooden tree next to the wooden cross.
Yep. A tree looks like it's about to fall over at any point, but it's been the same for years.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yep.
Folk code brown. Yeah, my like Jenna would not go into Mouth Cemetery after she like she got out. We heard a scream and she wouldn't go in Mouth. Oh, that's right. We did the EVP at the stump. That's right. Yeah, but she 100% got a vibe and was like, "I'm not coming back in here all night."
And she didn't.
Yeah.
And she would not. And that's the night that we caught all that crazy shit.
Well,
Yeah.
Oh, that's
this,
right.
this photo was not that night. That was the next.
The tree
That
fell
was like a
down.
week.
Yeah, while we were investigating that night, there was electrical storm and it wasn't really super windy. And when we were leaving, we almost fucking KO'd a tree while we were like trying to turn onto the road because a big ass tree fell over it. Didn't hear it either.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's a crazy night.
Yeah,
Crazy
that was
video.
fucking that Mouth Cemetery when it is active, and it's not active every night because we confirmed that when we went.
We've confirmed it twice now.
I do
Yeah.
believe that there's a potential that we have an attachment from there too.
Still to this day, or like as
Yeah,
past?
like we recently on investigations, we've had it brought up where it'll say like attachment on the spirit box or the spirit talker app, and then on the spirit box we'll get like basically it like saying something that pertains to like either like protect or like harm or something, not in those exact words, but yeah. And it's been happening a lot lately to the point to where it's like either it was at the Indian burial ground or it was at Mouth, and we've been to Mouth quite a few times.
I mean, you're
I've
from
been there like
right
7
around there,
times.
right?
Yeah, like it's like a 30-minute drive.
I didn't start going there till recently though. I didn't. My first time was 3 years ago when we took that photo.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, Mouth is a place I've always heard about, probably because like a lot of
Mhm.
people I talk to like know someone that's been like
Right.
before I knew you, I knew Tommy, and he's like, I know these guys that have been there, talking about you, and so and so knows so and so, so I'm glad I finally made it out. And, it was one time active, one time not, but I totally believe like how can
Right.
a place be that active just once?
All the time.
Obviously, there's like there's something going on. No place can be active all the time, but if it's that
No,
active,
we have cycles
at
of
least
sleep and
once.
active. So I would
Yeah,
think that they would
exactly.
too.
Exactly. And clearly it was active for me at a different time and it was active for you. So clearly there are
Yep.
times and
I
it's
don't
just a
think
matter
time
of
is relative for spirits. You know what I mean? Like, I think time for us here as like full-blown human beings that are alive, like it's a construct. It's always been
But they don't
portrayed
know
as
what
that.
time it is.
Exactly. And if you're living as an eternal
Or
being,
they only live in the time that their last moment was or something like
shit,
that.
dude, we don't even
Right.
fucking know. That's the craziest part.
Yeah, and we'll never know.
Damn. They might go bump in the morning. You never know, you know?
Dude,
they might.
you can
might
get
not be night.
activity at any point. Like during the day at the
Yeah.
Asher Walton house for us, nothing. It was just
Yeah.
like crickets. But like certain places that we've gone during the day, you've got a completely different vibe than that.
Yeah. I mean, if a place is haunted, the place is haunted, you know? It's like
Exactly.
like you
It's
said, like
haunted, it's haunted.
the cycles are maybe not within like a day or a month, but maybe within like an hour. Like it might be within a couple minutes of like, you know, minute 27 to 30 of an hour. Versus if it's 127 or 827 might be haunted. You never know.
Dude, for real though.
Yeah.
I fully wholeheartedly believe that the spirits are basically like batteries, where it's like you deplete it and it's like a rechargeable battery, where it's like now you have to have the right conditions to recharge. And who knows what
Yeah.
those conditions are.
Yeah, but don't you hate it when you're like filming
Mhm.
and someone who's investigating is like, you can use our camera batteries for energy. I'm like, fuck no.
I do it a lot,
trying
but
to-
I'm also like I'm trying to like make something
That's
happen here,
funny.
but
That's funny.
I'm like, that's off limits. Like,
that's true though. But it's like, wait, can we pick something else? I
I'm
like
like,
to say
oh,
just use me.
like logically, like what you want them to drain the camera battery and then manifest as an apparition. Then you turn to
And
me
then
and
you're
say,
not gonna
"Can you
capture
catch that?
it."
Can you catch that?" I'm like, "No, I didn't catch that."
Oh god. I can just commit it to memory. That's why I think this investigation when we went did the kayaking and everything and this farm is like I don't think anybody's ever investigated it. And that's why it was so fucking
one
active.
definitely never investigated this. No one would even think that this place is
It's like
haunted.
christening a new place in is like, hey, they want to talk to us? Let's go.
When
Yeah, I
me
mean-
and me and Alex actually scouted this place out, and they were so excited to talk to us in the daytime when we went to go scout it. And I was like, "Oh yeah,
Oh.
this is gonna be nuts."
When isn't it though? When is ghost adventuring like not fun for you? Has it ever been, or has there ever been
No,
like a
it's always
sloggy point where you're like, ugh?
No, I mean I keep it fresh. Like
Keep
for
it
me, I
fun.
was always in it as I started off as like just like the documentary filmmaker guy, like filming everything, and then over time
Yep.
I was like, there needs to be a guy like on camera, kind of guiding it. So I kind of went into that mold, and kind of forced
Mhm.
myself to be okay on camera and stuff. Um, but I always kept it fresh. Like even like the videos, I always edited everyone from scratch because I was like, my whole thing was like never edit the same video twice, never do the same investigation twice.
Yeah.
And for a long time, up until recently, like I hated going back to places. I was like, we already went there. Let's do something new, And it wasn't until
That's what we used
recently.
to say too.
Yeah.
Until we were like, we're broke fucking like straight blue collar workers. We can only go and
Yeah.
afford the same places.
I know. And there comes a point where it's like all the good places maybe are nearby and like outside in public
Yep.
where like we'll like splurge for like one investigation a year, we'll do like one
That's what we'll
big one
try
a
to do
year or
too.
something. Yeah, like one a year, but you don't need to. I mean, so many places, Oh no, Hodge is here.
Hodge is here.
Top and
Hodge
tops.
is here.
Top and tops.
Hodge is here. I feel haunted with Hodge.
I feel haunted with Hodge.
I feel haunted.
And nothing like that.
Shout
Hodge.
out, Josh. We gotta get you back on the show.
Hells
sometime.
yeah. For reals though.
Yes.
So if you had one fucking location you could go
Ooh.
that's like a dream spot that you could land and you could just investigate as long as you wanted to, wherever in the world, where would you go?
Oh, that's a good question. Anywhere in the world, one investigation, where would I go?
No, week long every equipment you ever
Yeah, you
want.
could have anything under the sun for the investigation. It's like full access, everything.
Everything you could ever want.
Okay. Okay. Let me see here. If I send you a picture, are you able to put it on your fancy like screen to show the people?
Most likely. We can probably make that work if you
I
just
don't
save
know
it
if-
to your drive really quick.
Oh yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, it shouldn't take too long if it's just a photo.
Okay. I sent it on Instagram.
Okay, cool.
But I studied abroad in Italy, and
Jesus,
there's
you've been
Oh,
everywhere.
what the fuck am I seeing?
What the fuck?
What the fuck did you just send me?
It's a dick pic.
and
What the fuck, bro? I can't.
and
believe
there's
what?
a place in Venice, Italy, called the Doge's
Oh.
Palace, and we were there. Just it was like a kind of like very structured guided tour or whatever with a
This
bunch
is
of
what I
kids.
Yeah.
And let me explain it, and then when I give you a cue, you can put it up. But
When I go like this.
when I go like this, but
All right, Trevor, don't
there's a
react
bunch
to
of
it.
there's a bunch of kids. We're like 18, and this is before I did anything paranormal. Okay, this is before I
Mhm.
started, Afterlife Road, before anything. And we're in this old
Mhm.
palace in Venice, and very structured, like I said, very guided. It was all educational focused, and this palace in the dungeon.
Oh
There's
shit!
Oh, you
a-
shared it too early.
It
Oh
popped
no,
up.
you're good. You're good.
Take it
There's
away.
there's
we
a
hit it.
window. There's a window,
Uh-huh.
like in the dungeon area, and it's not like a window, like how we think of window. It was just a kind of like a slit.
Is it like a plexiglass type deal?
Nope, there's no plexiglass there,
No.
and nope, and there was kind of bars, so we were trying to like kind of take a photo between the bars, and this one girl
Yeah.
comes running scared because she saw a face in the photo, and then we tried recreating it. It doesn't look like her face at all in the photo, and you can show the photo. On the right
It's
hand
fucking
side, there's the
crazy.
face.
Circle it with
I
your
mean, you
mouse,
can
dude. Circle it with your mouse. Oh fuck.
you can
Dude,
see the
that's
face there, right?
crazy.
This
That-
is
look
a
at that.
dungeon.
You could see the nose.
A dungeon in the Doge's Palace in Venice. We tried. They were freaked out. I wasn't freaked out. I was like, "This is fucking cool." That was the kind of foreshadowing, paranormal stuff.
That's
that I was
so
getting into.
cool.
And
That's so
they were
cool.
freaked out,
That's
and the whole rest of the
insane.
trip, they didn't want to go anywhere cool. So it was just kind of me and this one guy sticking together. The three other people were too chicken to go anywhere remotely old or interesting. They,
Dude, Venice is also ancient.
yeah. So that was cool, and from what I've been able to find, there hasn't been like a real paranormal investigation ever at this place. They don't like allow it.
Wow.
And I've tried researching, and I mean, there are like vague claims, because it's so old and stuff, but no real
Right.
experience.
But how do you say that that's somebody's face? There's no hair. It's like a blank slate of a face. And that's not matrixing because it's way
I
too
mean,
detailed to be a matrix.
It's
Yeah, we tried
It's a
too.
face.
dude.
I mean,
That's insane.
like I said, there were 5 of us there. 3 of them are so scared.
You can see
we
the
tried.
nostrils, the lip structure, eyes.
Yeah,
fucking
we
everything.
tried
Anybody
recreating it for
bald?
so long. We tried for so long recreating it just to convince them it was nothing paranormal. Because like, there are some instances you don't want someone to be paranormal because someone's like
Right.
too afraid to even speak, Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even into the paranormal then anyway, so I didn't care if it was a ghost or not. So I was like, it's not a ghost.
It's
Now in hindsight, I'm like, I should have investigated more. I should have brought an investigator beforehand, But and then I'm like, fuck, I'll never go back here again, But
Right. No, I think once we're all big, rich, and famous, we'll definitely have to go to that place.
Dude, yeah.
yeah, live it
That's
up
your
in
dream
palace.
That's your dream
Yeah, that is.
location now?
That
Dude,
is
that's
because
sick.
I have a personal like vendetta with this place where I'm like I wish.
Yeah,
to
that's
now that I
crazy.
do it,
That's the craziest answer anyone's given yet for that
I
question.
say
Yeah.
Auschwitz because it's controversial and I feel like that'd be fucking crazy.
But like the fact that he has like a vendetta.
yeah,
like,
but no, like
he
you're the
wasn't
first
even
person to
into
be like,
paranormal, captured
yo.
something insane.
Yeah, I captured maybe the best paranormal evidence.
some of the most
before I
compelling photo evidence I've
That's-
ever
Yeah.
seen.
before
up
I was
there.
even into the
That's-
paranormal.
That's
And
class
on the other
act,
side of like
for
the
sure.
fucking world, so I'll never be able to go
Yeah,
back
you
there,
were in fucking Italy.
yeah.
Like,
But, yeah.
damn. Just the history that goes throughout those like that like itself. Like Italy was the also theater of World War II. All the history before that, just the culture that's lived on many years throughout
Right.
time. I
So many
love that.
different types of
And yet
civilizations.
this was like in a dungeon, in a palace, in the heart of Venice. It's like
What gets
think
cooler
about
than that?
yeah. I mean, investigating and capturing something and like actively investigating it, but then like looking back and thinking, oh, you're a dumb kid and you weren't into the paranormal, so you just got this photo, thought, haha, and then like moved on, and you're like, fuck, no, you should have
Yeah.
paid attention to it. But
Yep.
maybe one day.
I wish, like, back on investigations that now me and Riley being better cinematographers that we are and, like, actually have edit skills, like, I wish we could go back and, like, redo the same night over again, but, like, get way better footage of everything and audio footage and everything, you know what I mean? Like, it's one of
Oh
those
yeah.
things where it's like, and once you've gone through it, you understand, but when you hit your peak of glowing up, it's like, "Oh,
Mhm.
yeah, I see where my faults were, and I'm so glad I worked on that."
Right.
Right.
That's why we'll never like take
We're not
down
regressing. Fuck
any of
that.
our old like videos because we want people when they come see our content
Yeah.
to like see the evolution of like what the show became and see that like we have progressively
Mhm.
been trying to make it better and
Even the
better.
podcast, if you go listen to episode 1, it sounds like we're underwater, like, sucking cock.
You can go listen to like episode like
Oh,
60 and
like
it's
how I
better.
did before
Yeah.
when we made everyone wait 12 minutes. Yeah.
Yep. And and then now you get to, like, the 120th, 30th, 50th episode, and it's clear, it's nice audio, everything's nice and, like, where we've always wanted it to be from the very beginning. It's like, yeah, it just takes
Heck yeah.
time.
You got to learn.
And it's honing the craft, and that's what ghost hunting is, if you ask me. Like, you can be a paranormal investigator, but if you go into investigations not knowing any history and asking the same questions, you're not probably going to get a lot. I feel like if you go
Yeah.
specifically to places and connect with those spirits that you are assuming that are there, you get a lot better activity and a lot better, like, luck that way.
Exactly. And like even then, if you go at it with a historical approach,
Yep.
studying the history, understanding the history, falling in love with the history, and like thinking like, hey, we may be talking with people that live through the history. And then you don't get any activity. You
Mhm.
still get something out of it because you approach the history in a different light and you get a newfound appreciation for the history you studied and fell in love with before the investigation.
Exactly.
I found even like when you go in that way, even if you don't get evidence, it's not really about the evidence. It's not all about the evidence because even if you don't get any, you still have a memorable investigation. You still get something out of it historically.
Yeah, I find it more fun sometimes to do, like, when we're doing intros and, like, history clips of, like, speaking things, it's more fun to find clips of that stuff and, like, make it look cool than sometimes it's, like, half of the video and it's like, "Yeah, we didn't get a ton of investigation, but, like, look at how cool the history was, and I was
Yeah,
here."
yeah. I mean, like that's Michigan. I mean, I always joked at MSU, like
Mhm.
when I did like the YouTube stuff, and throughout college, MSU is like a party school, right? You guys know that.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
definitely.
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
living in Michigan, we've heard all of the stories.
I've
okay.
experienced it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So my whole gag was like me and my friends doing paranormal stuff. We would go to a cemetery we would go to like a bar on Friday, then we would go to like a historic
And then
cemetery
Saturday we
location
investigate.
Saturday. It's like the amount of times we've been like the first people to investigate a place, and like we're a bunch of college kids. Like, why are you letting us run around your historic place?
You would have
Like,
found us in
at night?
hookah bars and fucking bar
Yeah,
bars.
yeah. I'm like everyone else is out, like getting drunk on the streets of East Lansing, and we're out here at this historic place no one ever heard about. I mean, we'll save the party
Yep.
for the night before, and then do a
Of
ghost on
course.
the
I
night.
find it way more stimulating for my brain to research stuff and then like go out and like check these places out than I do ever just drinking a beer now.
Yeah, yeah. Same here.
What's your favorite
Ooh.
device to
I was
use on
literally just about to say that
investigations?
same question.
Wow. Is this like some telepathy? You guys like
Dude,
phone
we've done
like
this
in the
for
past?
so many episodes together that I feel like we just read each other's minds for sure.
We
Okay.
do.
Wow. I mean, I am Afterlife Road, just like me. So like, I don't have someone like I have to have scripts because I don't have another person to like read minds with. So I have to read minds of my own
Oh yeah.
thoughts beforehand. So that's impressive.
That might
Um,
get like scary and confusing.
yeah, but Favorite equipment. Probably camera. I mean, I know that's like a lame answer, but like,
It's not
when I
that
got
lame
my
at all.
okay,
Everybody wants visual evidence.
I'll add a qualifier. The FLIR camera, like the thermal imaging camera.
You're the
When I
only
got
one that I know that uses FLIR a lot.
Yeah,
yeah,
you're the only one I know.
when I
that
got
has
that,
one.
I fell in love with that thing when I got it. Like it was the coolest fucking thing. Like not even paranormal stuff, just like walking around, like
Just checking it out.
yeah, like when I go to like a cafe or something, you know, or like even when I get a coffee before an investigation, and they get the coffee, I'm like, all right, I know I like my coffee at this degree. Instead of having a thermometer, let me just take a photo with the thermal camera, see if it's good to drink, you know. So
That's
I
awesome.
bought this contraption
So
in
how
the
accurate is
coffee
it
shop.
though?
Yeah, it's pretty accurate. It's surface temperature though. That's the thing. So people think they're
Yeah.
gonna get like ghosts and shit like walking throughout, but like it's not gonna get like if you breathe, it's not gonna get your breath. It's only gonna get like the thing you breathe on heating up.
Yeah, like the
So
impressions of where it would be. You'd see cold spots or
exactly,
something.
exactly. And like the one I have is kind of like the like lower you know market tier one. So the
Yeah, I
range
mean they're
is
fucking expensive.
They're
I know,
super
yeah, yeah.
expensive.
So the range is only like 100 feet, you know, in
That's
accuracy.
still not bad though.
It's not bad, but like if you're like on like Mouse Cemetery, if we heard something on the other side of the
Outside's
cemetery,
hard.
yeah, we wouldn't be able to
Yeah.
see. But like if you had like a better one, you could see someone coming in the cemetery and stuff. Like the amount of times
Mhm.
we've heard footsteps, turned around and saw a deer on the or like not even a deer, just like this weird hot mass that's like elongated.
Yeah, just a
like
blob.
moving fast. I'm like, there's a blob back there and it's hot. Probably a deer.
It's alive.
Yeah.
I know that it's alive.
Yeah,
I
clearly.
love that. Do you believe in the cryptics and like Bigfoot and Wendigos and things like that nature?
Um, you see, depending on the
You
location,
see.
because like the amount of people are like, oh, and there are people like this. Or like, there's a Bigfoot in like Lansing. I'm
California.
like, really? Yeah, I mean,
Show
California,
me.
I'll like believe a little bit more, but like, there's no
Maybe.
Bigfoot hiding out in Lansing. You know, it's like location wise. Like,
Manistee
is there a
National Forest
location?
would be
Manistee
my
National
best
Forest.
guess.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, is there a location we haven't explored yet? Because there are most definitely creatures that we haven't discovered yet, and like a Bigfoot or
yeah.
something is gonna have to be in a place that's more remote than like fucking like a city. And like, there's no Bigfoot sighting in like a
exactly.
major city in Michigan, and then what? It's been sighted like twice ever, and then like never seen again. So you got
Yeah.
if you want to talk about like Bigfoot and stuff, to me, you gotta like go to like specific locations because I don't think there's. And then like if there's a Bigfoot, you know, in one country, one place, how is a single other Bigfoot popping up in Ohio?
Because they're
You know,
aliens.
Yeah.
I mean
I have this theory that
Ohio
that's
Bigfoot
an easy answer.
is an alien.
Ohio
That
has
is the
like
easy answer.
Ohio has like their own Bigfoot legend, right? Like Grassman or something like that, I believe.
The Grassman?
I
Are
have
you
no
making this
idea.
up, or
No, I've
there
never heard
No, I'm
of
pretty
this.
sure that's what
is
they
there
call
a
him.
Grassman of Ohio?
He's now
I'm not
looking it
even
up
kidding
because
you.
he's like, I have to. I honestly, I don't believe. I'm not believing that it's false. I bet you it's real. Monster Quest, Grassman stalks Ohio. He's right. The Grassman is 100% of Bigfoot.
What
I'll
are
be
you talking about?
fucking damned. The Ohio Grassman, man.
I have never been
Actually, no,
It's
confused.
on the History Channel.
It's on the History Channel, Monster Quest.
I've never
I'm
been
telling you,
confused during
Grassman
an
sighting.
interview before.
I've never heard this before in my
You've
day of my
never
life.
heard of Grassman?
No.
Are you serious?
So there's on the History Channel they talk about a Grassman of Ohio and it's like some sort of like monster.
Yeah, it's like Bigfoot.
Yeah, 7 to 8, 9 feet tall.
And
Bigfoot.
he's like covered in grass.
Hairy, so he looks like grass.
No, yeah, he's hairy, long
He's a
hair. So
hairy
he looks like
grass man.
Even Ohio's stupid. They call Bigfoot.
Even Ohio's stupid. They call Bigfoot fucking
We
grass.
love Ohio. We have
Yeah,
Not
that
a
might
thing.
be the most Ohio
That
thing
was
I've
a good
ever
hot
heard.
take. That was a
Yeah.
really good hot take.
Yeah, leave it to Ohio to be like, yeah, we met Bigfoot.
You
Leave it, like,
literally
something-
leave it to
Yeah, it's
Ohio.
like way cooler. Like, oh, what is it? Oh, you don't even
The
know.
Grass
Oh, yeah,
Man.
what is it? Grassman.
Hey, Dogman
And
is much better,
they think
honestly.
in their head it's cooler.
Michigan's got
guess.
Dogman. That isn't much cooler. It's
I mean, when you're put up against
Yeah.
Grassman,
Part
I
dog, part
mean, like
man.
the bar is so low.
Do you think Loch Ness is real? 'Cause since they just went and did that huge like Loch Ness hunt last weekend, and they
Like,
catch
oh,
anything.
thing.
Yeah, and they
Yeah,
didn't catch
like,
a single
There's
fucking
like
thing.
120 like researchers that went on like a boat and they
Like
spent a night
sonar,
out there.
everything and nothing.
You bring them to Ohio next weekend for the Grassman. I'm interested in this Grassman in Loch Ness right now. Where are all these researchers in Ohio going? You know, keep them here.
They're like, we're going to West Virginia to get Mothman.
No, Grassman.
Man ain't cool enough.
Dude, the cameraman, that's the name of this dude's channel. He's got 11,000
Yeah,
views
apparently
on his.
people really love the Grassman.
Apparently Grassman's where it's at for views. Oh,
We
they're
need to
not
get
doing
some
that
trail
already.
cams out there now.
Oh God, don't be going out to Ohio finding a Grassman next time.
Bro, I'll go anywhere if I can catch me a cryptic. I'm all about that.
I think in the summer we should do a Bigfoot thing.
I
That'd be
really do
fun.
think it would be a lot of fun to do a camping trip and go look for Bigfoot.
You gotta do it
Bigfoot,
in
yes.
the summer though, because otherwise
Bigfoot, not like
Not Grassman.
not Grassman. We don't cross the Ohio border.
I wouldn't even know
No,
how to
we're not
look
going
for
to Buckeye
Grassman. What do? You like go out in the woods and go, Grassman, grass. We got the grass over here. We're gonna smoke it up.
Grassman.
Maybe you need to
Holy
go to
shit.
like a like field that doesn't have any grass and plant a bunch of grass. And
And
then
he'll show
Where
up.
you plant
That's
it,
like
he
you-
will come.
you summon him, because the grass in one spot will grow into a man, then steps out of the ground and walks towards you.
That plot of grass will turn into the grass man. And then he'll grow more grass man.
He's like a fucking chia pet.
Photosynthesis.
He's a chia pet. This is where they got a chia pet from. This Grassman. Fuck,
Grassman.
guys, we
Yeah.
figured it out. They're actually like that's
Another
what chia pets
mystery
are now.
solved on What Goes Bump.
They just are like freeze drying chia pets that are actually grassmen, and we don't know it. They're just pulling the wool over our eyes.
Don't go out there with water. He likes to be watered.
Don't give him water after
Oh.
midnight.
That's
That's fucking amazing. Holy shit, I love that.
that's
So, how
Grassman.
many investigations do you think you've done? Like, if you could count them all up, or is there like, oh fuck, that's a lot.
Yeah, oh fuck, there's a lot.
Oh fuck, that's a lot.
Oh, fuck. That's
I
Well,
love
because
that.
like, we got our start like, you know, in college and stuff. We wanted to
Have
build
you
up a
gas
resume.
pedaled since then too? Even like where it's been more.
Yeah, I mean, we did a lot more in the beginning because we wanted to build up a resume of places before we even dared
yeah.
go into any indoor places. So we started just going to like a cemetery, a random cemetery, like every fucking night freshman year of college, because that's like the one semester, that second semester of like freshman year that like you don't give a fuck about grades or anything, so you just like are willing to go out every night. So we
Oh,
went to
yeah.
like a different
yeah.
cemetery every fucking night, and we explored like every cemetery, haunted or not, just seeing if there
Within
was
like
an
a 30
activity.
mile radius.
Yeah, exactly. So we
That's
like
awesome.
so because of that, like, I don't know if any of those really counted as like real investigations because like they weren't
I would.
filmed.
I'd say
I
so.
count them.
Okay.
Just because you don't record it doesn't mean you didn't investigate.
All right.
Right.
I mean, some of them we were just preliminary. Like, hey, let's just start it out. And maybe we'll come back.
Yeah,
and
let's go
film.
feel it out. I mean, that's
Yeah.
basically a preliminary
We
investigation
do that
as
to all
well.
the
True,
local
true.
spots. that
Yeah.
are open air. Like if I can't get
Yeah.
anything during the day, I'm probably not gonna get anything at night.
Yeah. I mean, there was
That's how I
one,
feel about it.
time like we were driving, dropping my friends home, and we passed by this park, in our town that we lived in, and there's this dude under a streetlight like doing this weird dance, and he kind of creeped us out, and we're like, that was creepy. Maybe there's ghosts there too. So we just went back to investigate, and we caught like a fucking growl on camera. Like, oh, maybe it is haunted. Yeah. So
Oh,
we're like,
shit.
we went only because we were creeped out by this guy dancing, and we're like, just for shits and giggles, maybe it's
Maybe
like
he had
actually
an
haunted.
attachment too. And
Yeah,
the
may-
attachment
yeah,
was just
yeah.
like, get it.
Yeah. So it's like we just went to like any fucking random park or cemetery we passed by.
Bro, you guys met like a demon that night. He was like a
Probably.
straight like changeling that was walking the streets. That was just dancing all creepy. And then when you got there, he had just went to his like his
Yeah.
demon form of just like
I mean, don't joke about that. Have you guys heard about the Uber driver
No.
story?
I have
Okay.
not.
The second ever investigation that went on. So the first one, like I said, was that one MSU Paranormal Club investigation,
Uh-huh.
and then we did that one campus investigation, which was just like we were like there was one building access we walked over. So the first actual investigation, we as like 4 people decided to go to on our own and drive to outside of a organized event or just walk over to the random place. The first actual legit investigation. The one guy we knew that had the car couldn't make it, so we had to get an Uber in the middle of winter to go to this well-known haunted park nearby. And
Michigan
this
suck
Uber,
too, by the way.
They do.
what was that?
Michigan winters suck, by the way. So everybody
Oh,
knows
yeah,
that Michigan winters are rough.
They're terrible. And like this, in hindsight, like we could have easily walked to this place, but like it
Right.
was kind of icy. I mean, it wasn't like bad weather. It was like one of those winter days where it's like, wow,
If it's still
actually
like 20 degrees or colder, I'm not fucking walking.
I
all about the
know.
wind
It was
speed.
like
Wind
it was
speed. No.
it was 34 degrees. So it's above
It's not
freezing. It's just still
doable,
icy.
but
Yeah,
some of those
yeah, but,
crazy
like, as
fucks
long
will
as-
walk out in t-shirts. But I mean,
I know. Like we're not gonna walk there, but if we're outside for like 20 minutes, we can do it. So we get an Uber, and this Uber driver is this like 6 foot, like big guy, like not
Oh,
only
boy.
buff, but like he's big and he's bald and it's kind of he talks in a deep voice. It's kind of scary. He picks us up and he doesn't say anything, and we didn't want to talk about like because we're going to a fucking park at like 7 or 8 o'clock at night. Like that's fucking normal. Like we don't need to like be
Right.
telling this guy for no reason. Like we're going ghost. It's not like we're going to a cemetery and we have to say like, oh, we're ghost hunters. It's okay, you know. So we didn't want to have a conversation with this guy, and it's a fucking park. Nothing scary about it. And as soon as we get there, he locks the doors, so we can't get out, and he turns to us. And I have my school backpack on with like textbooks and shit in it with like the camera gear, so he doesn't even see any ghost hunting equipment or anything. He knows nothing about
Yeah.
us. Just that we're going to a park like normal fucking people. And he locks the doors, looks at us, and says, "You don't know who I am." And I say, "You're right. You're my Uber driver." And he goes, "I'm a demon mapper."
What?
And I'm like, huh? And the door's locked. And he proceeds to tell us in this locked car that him and his church buddies, as a hobby, when they're not Uber driving, they have a literal map in their house where they drive around and map the most demonically infected places in Michigan. And the park we're going to, again, he knows nothing about us that we're there to investigate or anything.
no.
He thinks we're just some random people going to a park. He proceeds to tell us that the park he's dropping us off at is the highest on his list of demons in Michigan. Like there are the most demons here out of anywhere on his map that him and his church buddies drive around making about demons.
Holy
And
shit.
he won't let us go to this park until 3 things happen. 1, we hear his life story. 2, we tell him exactly why we're going to the park and what we plan on doing. And 3, he prays for us. So after all that happens and he prays for us, he hands me, and he has this whole crazy story about how his dad did a Ouija board session and his dad's heart imploded.
What the fuck?
During the
And then
session,
and ever since, like demons have been following him around, masquerading as homeless people, and then
What
Yeah,
are
it's a
the
little weird.
fucking odds?
and then ever since, like it's been his like mission to like have a map so people know where demons are, so they don't get an attachment like he did when his dad's
Holy
heart literally
shit.
imploded. I don't know. And then he prayed for us and he handed me his business card with his phone number, and he says, "When you guys are done here," because we ended up telling him we were investigating, obviously.
Yeah.
And he said, "When you're done, give me a call. Don't pay for an Uber back. I want to personally pick you up and drive you home, so I know you make it home safe. You don't need to pay me.
Oh,
All I care about is
man.
your safety." So I'm like, "Hell
That's
yeah, we
cool.
scored.
That's
We're a
pretty
bunch of
cool.
college kids that don't have to pay for an Uber." But then like in hindsight, I'm like, wow, why did we tell this strange guy where we lived?
Bro,
And
he
then,
literally looked at you and said,
You don't know who I am.
Yeah.
But I am going to tell you about the demon stuff.
literally.
like, what
And then,
the fuck?
yeah, and then that whole tale was pretty strange. I'm actually trying to write it into a book right now because it was so
Dude, I
bizarre.
love that, though. I
Because
fucking love that.
it goes in so many directions. Because then we got tacos with him the next week. Because he kept calling me.
You're like, bro, let's just hang out with this guy. Let's see what he wants.
Yeah, but then when we got tacos, there was like a fucking like blizzard outside, like
Oh
a
my
legit blizzard.
God.
So we're kind of stuck in this Mexican restaurant with him, and then the awkward part when a bunch of homeless people came in to take shelter, and he thought they were the demon stalking him, and then he brought he brought his roommate. He brought his roommate with him, he has this you know, like clairvoyance, like it comes in like different senses, you know,
Yeah.
and like some people like I can see, I can hear, you know. This guy, he could smell spirits.
I didn't think this story could get any funnier.
So this Uber driver brought his roommate, which is an 80-year-old married man. He has a wedding ring.
He's going,
His roommate, first of all, this man lives not with his wife, but with an 80-year-old guy that's full of demons. They're both married. And this
we're
guy,
enjoying tacos together.
And you're enjoying tacos, and homeless people show up. What a fucking
and then
story.
the homeless people
Oh my
come
God.
in, and this guy stands up. And this is one of the most awkward moments I've ever experienced in my life. He stands up when they walk in, starts sniffing them. like not like not right on them, but like there's like they kind of like walk past the table. Like, you know what I mean? Like they walk past us. They walk past us, and he goes, like as they walk by, he kind of like, and
No.
then he
No, he
said us,
didn't.
and he's
No.
like, they definitely have a demon. The things they do to their children, I can't begin to tell you the horrors. And then
Oh my God.
and then they had pronounced about Jesus for us, and
Dude, the vapors.
and then a week
the
later,
vapors.
and then a week later he died.
Oh my fucking God.
What?
This story is so fucking layered. I can't even function right now,
Because-
dude. Like,
And,
Wait,
and
you
the
know how he
reason-
died?
Yeah, the reason he died is because he had a very rare illness that he blamed on the demons, and his mistake was on the GoFundMe, ranting about the demons, and he got no money on his GoFundMe.
so it was curable.
Yeah, and his mistake was maybe not. If you want to get money from strangers, maybe talk about like the illness, not like how a demon possessed you.
The demons are
So-
coming for my soul. Holy shit, that is a story.
But what if it actually
my
was
God.
demons?
And then I found his
Dude.
obituary. I found his obituary, and the family said on the actual obituary, "Rest in peace, so and so, Uber driver, aka Demon Mapper." His obituary.
No.
Not like the other way around, like Demon Mapper, also known as Uber driver. No, Uber driver.
That
But
demon map.
also, yeah, that's all. You know, Uber driver doesn't ring a bell. Maybe Demon Mapper rings a bell because that's like the most common way to refer to it as. So
I've never
was our-
heard the term demon mapper, and this is just a whole new perspective on life.
What if it really
So-
was demons, though?
well, because this public park, there's houses surrounding it, and he kept saying like, "Don't mind the houses nearby; they're the Dark Watchers."
Excuse me? What
And
are
then I
Dark
asked him
Watchers now?
And I'm like, he's like, "Oh, those are the people. They are, you know, they work for the demons to make sure they stay." And I'm like, then like
So Satanists?
we ended up like meeting like some of these neighbors because like we went there often, and then like there's like sweet old ladies that live there, and this guy was saying that this sweet old lady was like in league with the demons.
Her name is Albedo. She's a complete
Yeah.
night demon.
Yeah,
Jesus
but like that
that's insane.
that was my first real investigation.
Bruh.
Somehow I'm still doing it 7 years later because I'm not staying.
Bruh. That's insane. That
That would have been
Uber.
an insane
God.
first night.
Can you? We need to make a movie of this. Like,
Yeah, I'm trying to write it into a book just because I've tried. So I wasn't going to take out my camera and start filming this man.
no, I
like-
wouldn't have tried that either. It sounds like the guy that went on a fucking shooting rampage. That was an Uber driver too in fucking Kalamazoo. Like that level of
Yeah.
crazy.
Like one of my biggest regrets is like not documenting any of this shit, and I'm just now
Or at least
realizing,
asking him
this
for
needs
an
to get out
interview.
there. Yeah. Well, he died, so I had no option. But
Well, if you did it at the taco shop, been like, hey, bro,
true.
I don't
But
know
he
you're gonna
kept
die,
a-
but like, you want to do an interview?
Yeah, and he kept like calling, wanting like the next meet. He wanted to meet again, but the next meeting to be just me and him. And I'm like,
Ooh.
I'm 18, like barely 18. I don't.
Let's
and you're
get
like
it
this
on.
60-year-old man. I don't know about that, but I kept trying to put it off until he died.
He's got some Ray Charles playing in the background, and he comes out in
Okay,
a
all
silk
right,
robe.
If only I.
Demons got me, kid.
Oh, yeah. You never know.
That's insane.
That is-
That's
Apparently he,
literally insane.
Apparently he was this Uber driver. He taught like Little League baseball. So I'm really curious about that.
I'm sure he was just like really religious, and that's what it was. And I'm just being an asshole, but like that story
Yeah.
is fucking insane.
just
Well,
the
he has his own like.
The-
I
just
couldn't
the
find
whole-
anything about like, demon mapping or dark watchers. Like I
I've
found
never
one
heard of that.
I found like one obscure like reference to it in like some like book, but like in the context he was talking about them in, like he's making up his own lore and stuff, and like I never heard of someone having like
Yeah.
a physical map.
It sounds
Where it's like-
cultish.
It sounds what?
It sounds like a cult.
Yeah,
It's like,
oh,
you wanna
yeah,
start a demon
yeah.
mapping cult?
Yeah, that's sorry to cut out there, but yeah, it does.
Oh, you're
And
good.
when we had our like lunch meeting, they were talking about like where a cult like meets on like East Lansing, like MSU campus, and
Yeah.
I'm like, what? And he was like, you go out there at night, you hear crazy noises. I'm like, no, that's just a
Yeah,
party
it's all the
spot.
college kids getting fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah, like there's a wooded area on campus, and like we investigated there just because again we didn't know any places at the
Just
time
check
or
it off
going like
the
fucking
list.
anywhere, and
Right.
we just encountered a bunch of like high kids doing dumb shit in the woods. So they're telling us false locations about cults, maybe to throw us off on where they are meeting at. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah. Who knows? Maybe they were the ones that actually saw reality for what it really is, and we're just fucking crazy ourselves. I don't know.
Maybe.
That's the thing is, I keep saying I'll ride that fence until somebody shows me a demon is real or not
right.
real.
Like, what happens if a person is born with like this? I mean, you've talked to psychics, but like even more extreme than that, to where like they're actually seeing this and they can't escape it, and it's so real to them that like they
hell
will.
on earth. I believe we are already living in hell. Like this is hell already. We've all done something in our past life that's put us here.
Is that how goes bump in the night? Is your past stints?
Maybe. See, I don't even know if I believe
damn.
in past
That's-
lives. Like it's sometimes it's
Damn.
real, other times you hear it's fake. I don't fucking
Yeah,
know.
I mean,
Yeah.
you see those videos on. I think everyone's probably seen the 60 Minutes of the kid that
Yeah.
had the past life or whatever. Like, yeah, it could very easily be faked, but also it's pretty interesting.
Just imagine your parents want you to get rich and famous. What do? Feed you a bunch of bullshit about how you were alive in the 70s and you lived through the Great Depression and this and that and the other thing. And then they give you all this background information that a 4-year-old should never know. Yeah, there you go. That's usually how that goes, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So do you believe in like haunted objects?
Haunted objects.
Like
Um,
dolls or other like like Divic boxes or things like that. Oh, we got little show and tellies.
okay, so we found this bell at an antique store.
Okay.
Sometimes we like to go to antique stores with like a spirit box and headphones, and just like sometimes we'll get
Oh,
voices.
that's
Um,
smart.
and there was this you know, like the antique stores that have like multiple vendors, you know, booths within
Yeah, it's
one.
almost like it's like a flea market style thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this bell was actually gotten at a um antique store. I believe it was in just outside of Holland. So it was the day we were going to Nunica. So it was nearby Nunica.
Yeah.
And this one booth was like, it was their like last day. They were kind of like closing down. They were getting ready to
Like
leave.
get rid of it.
Yeah. And we find this bell and we're like, ooh, what's this? And they're like, take it. Like, we'll sell for
Just
$1.
get
We
rid of
don't
it.
want it. Yeah. We're like,
Yeah.
oh, that's strange. And they're like, they said how haunted it was, and when people rang it, they got dizzy and lightheaded. So we're like, okay, we'll take
Oh
it.
shit.
So we got it, and ever since, when we ring this bell at investigations, it kind of like stirs things up, and it's kind of strange. And
Really?
I I'm torn
Hmm.
between if because it's like a Cornish pixie bell,
Oh
and
yeah.
I'm torn if it's like something attached to the bell, or if it's like something within. Cause I've heard a lot about like frequencies, and like if maybe this
Right,
frequency
yeah.
like kind of vibes with like ghosts or whatever, like their frequency, and the frequency itself and the noise actually like stirs things up. Because like we've been to places and we
Huh.
ring the bell and all the birds like fly out of the trees. You know what I mean? So
That's super interesting.
That is
yeah,
interesting.
like
I
the
believe
first time we
frequencies
took
play
it
a big
out,
part in it.
yeah. But the first time we took it out, it was in this like old like opera house, and we were having like smalls happen. We ring the bell, and all of a sudden, like things start walking towards us, like surrounding us. Like,
Damn.
oh, that's a bit.
I could see
So
it being like how you said, like the sound for sure, where it's like if you hear a bell, like it's almost like a beckoning thing, where like what
mhm,
was it back in the day? It was a dinner bell, or it's like a work bell,
True,
like bells
true.
were used for everything.
They were.
yeah, yeah.
And then not only that, like
So
frequencies, like I honestly think everything works on a frequency or a wavelength or a vibration. And what are wavelengths? Vibrations. Like what is sound waves?
yeah,
Vibrations. And then you tell me that a bell that hits the right tone, that's like, oh, that's the sound wave we're looking for.
right. And you don't know who used that bell for what purposes. Like, what if
No,
you
not at all
used
either.
that bell for the purposes of a ritual or something, and then suddenly that tone and that use of the bell is associated with that act, So
Mhm.
I mean, it could go that deep as well. I mean, I fully
And paranormal hunting is a ritual.
Yeah, of sorts, I would say so for sure. It's not like black magic rituals
It is
by any
black
means,
magic.
but I mean,
I mean, you
would you say Ouija boards are like rituals then?
Yeah, a
yeah.
Ouija board is
Yeah.
a ritual.
Is that black
It's a
magic?
I
No,
don't
I
know
don't
if
think
you
it's
can
like
consider it
magic, but
black
it's a
magic.
ritual. I mean,
Yeah.
it's something you're doing to elicit a response, right?
Yeah. So when you used the Ouija board in one of your videos that I watched, no bullshit. What is that? What is it like when the planchette starts moving on its own? Like
Well, I
how
don't
can you
believe
like tell that it's not somebody else? Like that's my thing. Is like I've never got to do
I
one, so
I don't believe in Ouija boards, and I've only had it
yeah.
actually work twice ever. One of them was in the one you're probably referring to, the museum, where because in the 60s,
Yep.
like Hasbro bought the Ouija board, and now it's
Yep.
like toy. But from the shop, the voodoo shop that then acquired the museum, we found a uh, pre Hasbro original Ouija board that we purchased, and we brought it back to the site to do uh, a session there where we bought it.
Yeah.
This is old; it's original and everything. And that's for a long time. I would only bring Ouija boards out when nothing was happening because there's like you
Right.
know time.
Maybe this will work.
It takes longer to like film a Ouija board than it does do a EMF session or something. So it was like free content, just doing it, and like nothing ever happened. Except for one time, which was really fucking weird. It was saying what floor it was on, and then the elevator would go to that floor on its own. So I was like, oh,
What the
that's a little
fuck?
weird. Um,
That's super
But
weird.
That's
when it goes on its
crazy.
own, we're just kind of looking at each other like, I'm not moving it. And the weirdest part about the one that you're referring to, the museum, it kept saying like
Mhm.
random shit. Where it's like if I was messing with someone, it's like because my first thought was like maybe it's my subconscious. Well, if it was my
Right, yeah.
subconscious, I would be like trying to say like real things that like I would think would scare someone or relate to history, not
Yeah.
random stuff.
Yeah, not
So
just
and it's just
letters.
yeah, it just feels like faster than you can move it because you like at least that day it was like really hot and sticky out, so we were kind of sticking to the board. But this was
Yeah.
moving fluidly, not like sticking at all, which that was the weird part.
Because like I'm always
Yeah.
skeptical. Like
No,
Riley's
I
had
am.
his own experiences
I
too.
I had experiences when I was a kid with the Ouija board, but I can confirm that it does feel like it's moving faster than what anyone else could move it. Like, and it has a purpose. I feel like if
Yeah.
someone else was moving it, it wouldn't have a purpose. Like, but when
Does
I
it
was doing
feel
it,
like it's charged though? Like that's the
Yeah.
thing that I
I
want to know
can't
is like you
remember
feel
back
an
to
energy
then, but
coming off
like
of it?
it just like it
No,
feels like
I
it has
mean,
a purpose to where it wants to go.
yeah, that goes into what I was saying too about like how fluid it was because like not only is it like was it sticky and sticking to and it was just moving without like sticking or stopping, but it would move right to the letter stop. And in my head, I was thinking like, really? You want to stop at this letter? Like that doesn't make
Like,
any
really?
sense based on the letter like that came after. So in my head, I was thinking like, why would you go to that letter? Which then rules out like
Right.
subconscious, you know? So it does seem I think you'd agree what like it was moving at a speed it was like move before more fluid and with a greater like and with intent with purpose. I
Intent,
think
Yeah,
those are
yes.
intent's a good
yeah,
word.
I think those are the three things that stand out. I don't know if it like has an energy or anything because it took a second for me to even
Yeah.
realize it was moving at
So
all.
do
Yeah.
you believe in it then? Like would you say that you're a believer after experiencing it like
No, he
unexplainably
said he
move the
doesn't
way it
believe it.
does? But I mean like would that change your perspective on it like overall?
No, I'm stubborn.
No, you're stubborn. I feel that though. I feel that.
Yeah,
Where I'm on the same way where it's like I really have to be proven that
yeah,
it is something that I can't explain.
exactly.
Like Spirit Box for a long time was malarkey, and then it just so happened that we caught stuff that I was like, yeah, that's way too specific and way too clear, and you could hear the sweeps, and it was a full sentence, and then like multiple times in like a couple minutes was the same voices that came through, and it's like I can't explain that. I don't know.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the apps that are out
Yeah,
there
like the
these
phone
days?
apps, like Spirit Talker,
Spirit
GhostTube,
Talker, I think yeah,
Necrophonics.
Necrophonic. What's the
Um,
one that I just downloaded?
honestly,
Necrometer.
if you want my real opinion,
No, raw opinion is the best.
my
Raw,
raw,
we want it raw. Give me it
my
raw.
raw opinion, the whole obsession with like the reverb annoys me more than anything.
Yeah.
It's like the people, no shade to anyone, but people that like choose like
No, yeah, I get
if
it.
there's a reverb setting and you're choosing to keep the reverb up, why are you doing that to yourself? Like turn that reverb
No, I get
off.
that.
Yeah, that like
Or give us a setting.
yeah, Necrophonic I think is the biggest like culprit for that. Where it's like there's a reverb setting I believe on that. It's like why do you have reverb
Yeah,
way up? It's like
Necrometer. If you go,
yeah,
I don't even know.
We've never for real used that one on investigation, but
No, I
yeah.
just have
But I know
the
I know people that like swear by
reverb.
like Necrophonic, and all I hear is like a super
Reverb.
reverb
It's up here.
echoey voice. Yeah, just be like
yeah.
and I'm like
It's almost
but
like it's Jesus, it's almost like it's trying to be more scary than it is actually like
I
a
know,
tool.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. And it's like you can turn that off. That's the thing. Like you can turn that off. You don't need it to have that reverb and that echo.
Yeah.
All you're doing is distorting it. So people like that, like, I'm like, are you really using it for the purposes that like to
Mhm.
actually communicate, or are you just trying to? But
Mannerisms. Is what it says.
Mannerisms. Weird. I believe 100
Protect.
wholeheartedly percent that Spotted Ghosts app, the Spirit Talker app, and his Music Box app definitely are genuine apps. And there's a video out there on his channel where he breaks it down with exploring Harley, and it's
yeah,
extremely informative on what the Ovulus does and what his app does, and it's not even half the price. It is a literal 0.1% of the price of an Ovilus.
Yeah, like that's my thing. People like, cause I'm in like Facebook groups or whatever, just like share videos and
Right.
shit. And you see like the most ridiculous things in these Facebook groups.
Oh yeah.
And one of
Oh
the
yeah.
things,
You.
yeah, one of the things is like people that like own Ovuluses and swear by them, then shit on like the app. It's like you're doing the same thing. If you really
Literally,
They
they have the
really are.
same. Your phone
Dude,
has
it's
the
like-
exact same technology.
Not only that,
Yeah.
the Ovilus is limited to like certain things, and it generates
Exactly.
random words off certain things, like radiation meters and other things in that. Which I don't think it actually has a Geiger counter in it. But like the phone is on a 3D, like it's more than just what the Ovilus is doing, because it's got all of the
Yeah.
calibrating sensors.
We're
for
gonna get
acceleration
Spotted
and
Ghosts
shit.
on here to help
It's super
explain this stuff
interesting.
because
Yeah.
we're tight with him. But
yeah, just like a mindset thing. It's like, yeah, okay. I
He's
mean, like,
actually a paranormal investigator himself too.
Yeah,
So
exactly, exactly, and that adds credibility.
that's what I'm
I mean-
saying. We also like say to like in threes too. So like if something goes off on Spirit Talker, we want it to be confirmed by another piece of equipment.
yeah, we like it to be, or like the next three things that it says need to be like,
relatable,
valid
yeah.
to what we're asking. And so we have noticed sometimes it will. You have to remember what questions you asked. Sometimes they'll say the answer way after you ask the question. Like, and that's the case too with like the spirit box, or even like anything. If you ask too many questions, you don't really actually know what they're answering. You got to kind of figure it out. I think that's the most fun part of paranormal investigating, is figuring out the clues that you're given through the investigation and the history that you know, and filling in the blanks with what they're saying is so
Yeah.
much fun.
Yeah, I totally agree. And like I think at Mouth we did the whole like Estes method too, where we were asking questions where you guys had like the headphones in, and you couldn't hear what we were asking even, and stuff lined up, you know. So that's even like in that sense, like you're like you don't know what the question was. So you're trying to in your head probably like you got this response, you're like, what does that even mean? But then we know what it means, you know?
Exactly. That's the most compelling stuff to me, where it's like, if I have no way of knowing what these questions that you guys are asking are, and I'm answering you, like, how can you explain a coincidence that like timing, everything like that? That's not a coincidence.
And the crazy part too about the Estes method too is you're so zoned out. You don't, when you're done, you don't even really remember what you said.
I go to like a whole nother place. Like we were doing the investigation, the Estes method, towards the end of the night while we were doing this stealth kayak mission that we did. And like I legitimately was like visualizing myself on this like old like farmhouse, like on a porch, just chilling. And I was like, I took the headphones out, opened my eyes, and I was like, whoa, I'm in the woods. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. That's wild.
You go to a crazy place when you're like, it's because
It's
you've
the
become
white
like
noise
this
too.
like conduit, and they're literally using you to speak for them, and it's
a lightning rod.
Yeah, it is though.
You're
like
right.
I feel like you get so connected to them, and some people have better luck with it than others. Like we've had times where I was under Estes method and I wasn't getting anything, and then
then I pop it on and it's like, what's up, motherfucker?
Yeah,
we partying.
And it's been the other way around too. So,
or like it'll say like fucking Riley's name or my name, which actually happened at the Asher house, like for the first time for real. It was like specifically asking for us to like, hey, I think I want you right now to listen. Is what it seemed like, at least. Like when we were switching, it was like Riley.
It's Riley, yeah.
Yeah, and then it was like he put the headphones on and
it was almost
started
like
speaking
the
to him.
spirits that wanted to talk to me. They were just like, "Oh, it's Riley. Who wants to talk to Riley?" And the first thing I fucking says, "You're dead." I'm like, well, I didn't even know what it said. I had to, play it back later, but
yeah.
But then throughout the rest of the night, it was like when I would do the spirit box session, it was like I was hearing, it was like children somewhat, like it seemed like we got Asher Walton himself and then talking to his wife. And then on top of that, I'm 99% positive I saw a child's like silhouette of like a black mask going through the house upstairs. Like it wasn't on camera, but like out of the corner of my eye, I saw it and I was like, the fuck?
Oh, no way. That's so cool.
It was awesome. And it was like right before that we had heard like and like my dumb ass like recreated the sound right after it, so it sounds like I'm just doing it, but like you can hear it after we didn't fuck with the audio a lot before on like the raw video, actually like thumping, almost like really soft thumping, and it's like, dude, it's fucking there. And then I decided to get my
scary.
hands dirty on the editing, and it was not good.
Wow. I mean, regardless of like editing or whatever, like that experience sounds fucking nuts.
It was crazy. That
Yeah.
whole night was insane because like it was so hot in that house that we legitimately were like not there all mentally, it felt like.
No.
But the amount of stuff that was happening when it would come in the waves that it was incredible, because we'd all be sitting there and everything would line up and it would just be like everything's green lights right now. Like we're asking questions. It's intelligently answering it. Oh, I just saw this. Oh, I have this weird feeling. Oh, there's a cold draft coming this way. And then, you know, other parts of the night, it's like, you want to try somewhere else? I don't know what's going on. And then fucking doors are moving in other parts of the night, and then bottles are getting
What?
knocked off tables, and it's like, Jesus, dude, this is wild.
We caught a shadow
Yeah.
figure too in that video. If you
Mhm.
if you look,
It looks like a hand comes around the door. It's pretty
Will,
fucking
Will.
wild. It's definitely like the video isn't in its highest quality because I uploaded it bad, and it's in 1080p. But you can see like what looks like a hand come around the door frame towards the middle of it, and then how if you were to like like rock it with your hand a little bit, that's what it looks like to me because the door
Oh, wow.
wiggles.
What?
Yeah, it's fucking wild as shit.
yeah, we'll play this clip so you can see it.
Yeah, are you playing this? Wow.
Yeah, he gonna plop it up there. Just
Like,
The suspense, man.
dude, it's pretty cool. The Asher video is really cool. It's definitely our best video yet, but I wouldn't even say it's going to be the best one that's going to come out because like everything that we have coming out is even better than this.
Yeah, I can't wait for this stuff kayaking, you know?
Dude, it's so cool. We only got like maybe 15 seconds of kayaking
apparently
video
he
because it's
doesn't wanna-
blackness.
You're good. It's the concept.
It was so hard. And then Chase fell in.
I was executed.
I was executed. Why were you executed then? Was this?
Yeah,
not
see how the
considered
door is
because
still
you
right
were
here,
a
right?
Bad man.
Uh-huh.
I'm standing next to it. It's not moving.
Why would they put you to death?
I know, watch the door. See how it's still not moving.
Yeah.
Did I go too far?
I think you went too far.
Pretty quiet.
I did. Dang it. Sorry, guys.
It's here. You told us that there's no bad spirits here. Prove to me.
We saw the
Now-
door.
yeah, you see how it wasn't moving? Now watch it.
I don't believe
Look in the middle. It
anybody
looks like
that
something
said
peeked
they
out
wanted
and the
to
door
see
is
what they
wiggling.
Oh, I see that. What?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
and
door
then
wouldn't
watch-
move all night.
Watch
It's
near
weird.
the like
There's
doorknob
bad
area.
spirits here.
Okay, yeah.
I don't believe there's bad spirits here. You told us that
And I have a
there's no bad
gimbal, so it's
spirits
pretty
here.
smooth.
And we didn't
I
even
wasn't
we
moving.
seen this, but we didn't point it out. We wanted other people to see it.
We caught it in edit.
I don't believe anybody's bad until
Yeah,
they
it's
prove
like
it
if
to
you
me
go
that they
straight
are.
back from the doorknob where that would be, it's almost like a
Bad
hand pops
spirits
out.
here.
Yeah,
play one
I
more
saw
time.
that.
I
Dude,
don't
it's
believe
fucking
there's bad
creepy.
spirits here. You told us that there's
I was
no
standing
bad
like 3 feet
spirits
away
here.
from
No
that.
way.
Prove to me.
None of us noticed it either.
Watch
I don't
right
believe
here.
anybody's bad until
Yeah,
they
yeah.
prove it to me
That's
that
what I
they
was
are.
looking at.
Yep. And then we had a bottle. If you skip to the end, you can show them the bottle.
It's so
Yeah.
bad.
The bottle gets knocked off of a fucking table too at the end.
What?
Like at the end of our investigation, we were in the gear room getting ready to go
Trevor
back
and
out.
I
and the
then
bottle got
return back
knocked down.
into the house and head to the gear room to grab our night vision cameras. We then hear a noise from the kitchen. We quickly head
That's
to the
shut.
kitchen to investigate.
Sounded like it came from back here.
We're also idiots, and it was not a cabinet. And the audio
okay,
on our
go
night vision
stand over
cameras
there
is
and I'll do
fucking
this.
ass.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same with mine.
Because cabinets
Same
are known to
night
get
vision camera.
but-
Common problem.
Yeah, we need to get those Lavier mics that like are like the radio transmitted ones, and then have like our computer.
so. We try to like start
Is that
investigating,
you?
And then I
That we
kick the
heard?
motherfucking bottle on
and then
the
Trevor
floor.
kicked that.
There's a water bottle on the floor.
Huh.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Are you kidding me? I was
I did
shook.
not
I
put a
was
water
shook.
bottle
It.
I was shook too.
Hey,
'Cause we heard it.
The
The
next
amount of
day,
time shit
Keith
happens.
sent us this.
Watch this.
Yeah, look at this
Oh, is
shit.
this-
The bottle just
What?
gets knocked down.
Wait, you caught it?
Dude, yeah. Yeah, the bottle just gets knocked down. Unfortunately, we had to video recorded the
No way.
screen with the phone.
I thought
But yeah.
you were just showing me like,
And
oh,
watch.
this happened. I didn't know you caught the security.
No,
cam.
dude.
That's
Watch this.
crazy. That's crazy.
Watch this because I was the one that put the bottle there. Watch where I put this bottle back. I put it back in the same exact spot, and it
Yeah, I
doesn't
put
fall
both
right
water
over.
I
bottles
think
up
that's
here.
my arm.
That bitch was right there.
No, because
Oh yeah, I see what you're
Just
saying.
like that.
Dropped that. Maybe that's what we heard, bro.
Right here. You dropped
Okay,
that
because
just
I
like
did
this.
just make us drinks, but I did not throw this on the ground. I put this with the other water bottles. Okay, I'm gonna.
It's exactly where
Ready?
it was. It's exactly what happened too. It's fucking insane.
Yeah, just out of nowhere. That's crazy. And
Yeah, and it was
you
cool
can
because they had
see,
IR cameras in the whole place, so we
yeah,
got that because of the IR camera.
yeah. And you got the door too. Like the door wasn't just like shadow. Like even someone is like, "Oh, that shadow," and then some random hypothesis that doesn't match because they weren't there and they're just talking
Yeah.
out their ass about it. The door was like legit moving, so it's like it wasn't just
Mhm.
a shadow; it was a shadow, and then it,
Mm,
the door was responding to it. So clearly, someone
yeah.
was on the door.
And I
No,
couldn't even say I was close enough to use my foot to do that because you can't see where my legs are. But like, there's a fucking full desk, not like a little sized desk, like a full like fucking cabinet on both sides desk. And I was standing at the other edge of it, so it's like there's no way I could have manipulated the door, and the door had
yeah,
not moved until then. So
Right.
it's fucking
There's
crazy.
3 scenes leading up to that where you can see the door exactly how it was, and it does not move.
And I'm almost positive too, right before that happened, I even grabbed the door and like wiggled it and was like, make it move, and then
You
backed
did.
up.
It's crazy
yeah,
because like you literally asked them to move the door, and we didn't even see that they did
No.
for us.
I was
It's
Yeah.
fucking
crazy.
staring out the door frame
Yeah, he
too,
was
and I
staring
just didn't
out of
see
the
it.
door instead of staring at the door because I think he was watching the other door across the hallway.
Yeah, I wanted to see a figure, and we did.
yeah. I mean, like,
Crazy.
what are the odds that the door moves when you get a shadow on the door? Like,
Dude, that's
the
what I'm
odds of that
saying.
happening. And then the water bottle later. Like, even if you're like, oh, a random door moving, that's just one thing that happened. Then
Yeah, and then we
the
even
water
caught
bottle
like
gets
some of
stopped.
the
Like,
clearest like EVP like spirit box voices come through where it's like, "Did you know I love you?" And then it basically tells us to go over to the window, and we go to the window. It's like
yeah,
Mr. Asher himself is like Reaper, leave, and it's like
yeah,
that's fucking the attachment to us or something, and he's telling it to get the
damn.
fuck away. This is
I
his
mean,
house, and it was like the chain of events that happened at that point of the night were insane.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely one of the wildest nights.
That's like the thing that threes you were saying. Like, there was the EVP voices, there's a door moving with a shadow, and then there was a water bottle. That's like 3. You got 3. That's all you
Yep.
need. That's proof.
Yep, and we caught more than that even.
Yeah, the whole
Yeah.
video it's literally a
It's
half
like when
hour
the
of
investigation starts,
ghost
it's
stuff.
literally just like we cut out a lot of like the banter and bullshit because we're fucking idiots and we talk like morons when we're on investigations. But like
Yeah,
when
'cause
there's
it's
stuff
fun.
happening, like
Yeah.
it happens a lot.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
in the end, like you're just chilling. You don't wear your
Yeah,
clothes.
like
You're just chilling out.
like unapologetically myself, and that's always goofy, basically. So it's like, like I'm always cracking a joke. Sometimes it's really raunchy. Sometimes it's really hilarious. I don't know. I might hit the fucking wall on one. I don't know.
Sometimes it's hilarious, you know?
I also don't want to get canceled
Sometimes
because
it's
I
not.
said something super dark.
Oh, have you have you ever been like close, you think, to being I mean,
Oh, dude, not like
how many
canceled, but like we've
how
had
many people have
haters.
because of your dumb jokes or
No, no. One time I said there's no brakes on the rape train, and I was like, that's cancelable. and
Yeah.
That's what
then
he says again.
and then yeah, and then it's like I'm the expert on Bigfoot's dick, and I was like, people might not like that. But then also people came at us sideways one time for like improper research that they did, not what I did. And I snapped on the next episode and I was like, you call me a fucking open-headed narrative. I fucking did my research. Like, come at me sideways.
Yeah.
I'll show you all the facts. And it was like,
that's right.
yeah, people might not like that take, but like hot takes. I like hot takes.
I mean, yeah, that's not really a hot take. I mean,
No,
you
I
were
mean
right.
my southern spunk came out, and I'm not even from the South. Like I don't know.
I was gonna say, are you even Southern?
Hell no. I just
No,
love
we're not
doing a
even
southern
Southern.
accent.
We just do it. 'cause it's fun.
There's been many a times where we'll be reading like stories for the podcast.
You did
and
it on the
I
boat.
did it on the boat actually too, where like I'll
Yeah.
try to do like a voice and all of a sudden it'll get real country.
smooth. Real smooth.
It sounds like I've been
Tennessee
chain
whiskey,
smoking
baby.
for 10 years and whiskey's my favorite dinner. Like, I'm just saying.
I mean,
But it's also
lucky.
fun. I think voice acting would be an awesome career path too.
Yeah.
You think so?
I mean, shoot, like, what would be better than sitting in front of like a script really quick and then having like
Pretending to be a
something that
character.
you get to see before everybody else, like say you're doing an animated show or something. And then all you have to do is read it and then like do like inflections and like act like the person on screen. So like you can like act it out, but you can act like an idiot and not have people see you, but like your voice is being heard by millions of people, which is exactly what we're doing with the podcast too, but it's not millions of
Right.
people listening to us yet.
Yeah. I mean, keyword is yet.
Yet.
Yeah.
Manifesting
come up.
greatness.
On the come
Someone's
up.
gonna
Like,
find
you're
this
here,
in
you're
like
here.
5 years and be like, "Whoa, there's a time that
Remember
had
when they were
really
so
powered?"
humble?
Yeah.
Hey, we
Did
just
you
went
remember
viral
that?
yesterday, so we're pretty hot right now.
Yeah.
We
like,
we
the
went
cool
so
one.
viral. We got 1.2K. Like we were
Hey.
viral, guys.
The TikTok blew up at 3.9.
Yeah.
Let's go.
We got
I
like
know,
5,000 views in 2 days.
To us, that was like one of the greatest accomplishments for any of
Yeah.
our videos to do that because it's like even
Well,
the Asher video did 500 views in 11
to be
days,
fair,
which is
we did-
awesome.
I have been on national television,
He was.
and
Not to
I
brag.
did do a viral video that
National?
made it on.
We were on Joe Rogan. Me and him
Yeah,
were technically.
I was.
I
more-
wasn't on camera, but I was there.
I've been on some viral clips.
Okay. Doing
You just
like
wouldn't realize
ghosts
it. I did
or
one that was on bar.
No, okay.
hockey.
Yeah,
Hockey?
the one that
Hockey?
went
Okay.
Joe Rogan viral was Riley got
I shot a dude in the nuts. with a
got
hockey puck.
approached to be the hockey character to shoot a puck, like take a slap
What?
shot into Gucci Berry's nut sack for a swing to a
Mhm.
sack Sunday.
No way.
And that video blew up and like
Yeah, 1.2 mil.
yeah, and then after that, Joe Rogan recently when he did
Yeah,
Pauly
like-
Shore's episode
Yep, with
brought it
Pauly
up
Shore.
and he
They
was
played
like,
the
"That's a
video.
real fucking hockey player. He's probably Canadian." No, that's
Yeah,
Riley.
it's
That's
just me,
literally
I'm
Riley.
from
Oh,
Michigan.
And then after Riley
That's
shot him nuts and
hilarious.
snowed him, I came flying up behind him and snowed him again. It's like, but they didn't get me on camera, so I wasn't on Joe Rogan.
You have a picture with
Damn.
him.
I do have a picture of Gucci Berry, which is pretty fucking cool.
Then he took us out to eat
Man.
after. It was a great time.
It was awesome. Yeah, he's crazy as shit for what he does. The last one
Yeah.
I watched, he took a pro dirt biker and he went to some like rock pit basically and then had him rip it and just all the rocks went straight in his gooch. Bruh. I don't know how that man is not like imploded.
I literally have a meme
Damn.
shirt made of me on the Joe Rogan podcast that we could release.
I
No
love
way.
that. Though.
And you don't wear that like every time you're on camera?
No, we should though.
I
You
should
get it.
have it made. It's hilarious. I'll see if I can find it.
We should be on the Joe Rogan podcast, though, I feel like. The amount of times that our guests or like people that have approached us to talk to us about the podcast or the YouTube and made us feel like rock stars is incredible. Like I can't thank everybody enough. Like it's insane.
All million of you out there.
Dude, for real. One day we're going to be like look back
One
and be
day,
like,
I'm
I
telling
can't believe we get to
Could
do
be
this as a
soon.
job one day. That's
That's
all I want.
I
coming
hope.
up. It's coming up.
I
It's
hope
right around
one
the
day we'll
corner.
make it to that
That's
point.
what I'm saying.
I hope everyone that we've ever had on this show ends up making.
Dude,
it
that's
to
what
that
I'm saying.
point.
I want all the homies to blow up and we all like
Yeah.
let's just take over like the whole networks and then just be like it's us. Like we are the network now.
Exactly.
Hell yeah.
Could you imagine
I'm
though like
pulling up
all of
this-
our
I'm pulling
paranormal
up this
community
meme real quick.
is literally just the like leaders in everything. Kind of like how like Ghost Adventures is the staple.
Yeah.
Like literally just like our groups are just like, hey, if you're like looking for good ghosts, like go look here. Honest to God though, as a personal hot take, I think YouTube for sure, if you go look for investigation videos from YouTubers, you'll find way better evidence than you will on TV.
Oh,
100%.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's a hot take. I feel like that's just the truth. Shit, I'm smacking everything.
all right. So here is me on the Joe Rogan show.
It's fucking awesome. We should pull up the video too, honestly. That
Can
shouldn't
you?
be too hard to find.
So this is me
That's the meme.
right here.
Dude,
Fuck it, go
serious.
on YouTube, pull up the video. You
It's
can
on
most.
Spotify. Or
I think you can
whatever.
pull it up on YouTube still. Just do like Pauly Shore, like Joe Rogan Pauly Shore nut shot clip. But it's worth a watch. Honest to God, as terrible as it is, it's pretty funny.
I'm excited to see this. So why did you pivot to ghosts then if you're, you know, really being the
It
hot
wasn't like
seat?
we really pivoted for real, because like
I
with
just
the
did this guy. I got asked.
yeah, like the podcast was always about paranormal and stuff like that because
We
we've always been
literally. What
passionate.
was funny is we literally
Yeah.
were planning on to.
I got
Is that the full video though? That's not gonna be
No, that's not even the right one. Here, I'll look for it. You can keep telling the story.
it. That week, I think the day before we did it, me and you were sitting down recording the podcast, and I was like, dude, I'm about to go shoot this dude in the nuts tomorrow. And he's like, what? I'm like, you want to come with? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, dude, it's crazy that we might have something go viral, and we're about to drop this first podcast episode. Like, maybe it'll help gain some traction, you know? That's not what
Yeah.
happened. I got tagged in his video, but I didn't get tagged on the one that went like viral on Barstool. So
Well, that's
Can't find
unfortunate.
Gucci. Almost there, I promise. Just do Gucci Berry and see if you can't find it on his
You're
shit.
good. You're good.
Dude, Gucci Berry is fucking insane. That's all I gotta say. Like, do you know who this guy is? Like, have you ever heard of him
Yes.
before?
Uh-huh.
Big old fat guy with fucking tattoos everywhere.
Yeah.
Fucking insanity.
yeah, that's not his.
Apparently, they just hit it so deep into the YouTube fucking pothole.
It's an old.
We're really
video.
trying to hide the evidence, huh?
Dude, for real though. But yeah, if you ever just go on Spotify and you're like watching the Joe Rogan shit, it's probably like 45 minutes in or so or something like that. It's fucking hilarious.
Okay.
I think I have the clip recorded.
Oh, do you really? Well, you're scrolling for that. So how much do you believe in the aliens and like disclosure and the stuff that's been happening recently on the courthouse hearings? Do you think they're
Yeah.
giving us a load of bullshit, or you think they're really telling us the aliens are for reals?
I mean, they haven't presented any like real evidence. It's all just a kind of hearsay. So it's like, how
Yeah.
much do you really, I feel like if you already believe in it, you're gonna be like, oh, this is proof. But if you don't, you're gonna be like, oh, okay. I mean, I believe in like aliens out there. I don't know if they
Yeah.
are on Earth or anything.
I feel like
but
90% of the stuff that we see is man-made.
yeah,
Like,
I mean,
realistically.
like UFOs are real, but does that
Yeah.
mean like every UFO is like an alien or like something strange that's like
No.
hidden secret, like made on Earth type of thing? You know,
They basically said that there's like black site, like rogue like entities that have this technology that are like testing things that aren't supposed to be there. Like in Peru, they said that there's this like alien being that was like terrorizing a full town or whatnot. Well, what if that's just a government like terrorist arm basically that is like trying to train a super soldier and it's like working?
Yeah.
You never know.
Exactly. I mean, I feel like with all these like UFO and alien stories, there's reason to be suspicious because there's obviously something unexplained going on.
You have to
But
be suspicious.
yeah, you have to be. But the leap to be like I said earlier, like just to say, oh, it's an alien. Sometimes it's like an easy answer, you know. And I don't know if
Yeah,
like
it's
that's
like an
always
easy
the
cop
case.
out to me too.
Exactly, and that's sort of. I mean, they used to say like it's just like a weather balloon or something like that, and that used to be the cop out. Now I feel like it's reverse, and alien is the cop out.
Dude, I wouldn't even doubt that we have like one of those false flag things where they say like, "Hey, actually, the aliens were us all along, and they're not real," just to like get everybody back to thinking that. And then it's like, well, when are they going
Yeah.
to tell us the different one again? Just because they want us to look away from whatever actually is happening, which is
Yeah.
literally what's happening right now. Is they're making you look at some. Oh, you found it! Let's fucking go! I'm
Alright, I
so
wanna see
excited. It's so fucking funny.
Yeah, is that gonna be it, or is it gonna be?
Do that one. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, it's not gonna. I don't know if it'll play the audio.
Tell us if you can hear it.
Bro, he gets hit in the balls so
Yeah.
hard. Yeah, so
Cool.
hard. You're like, you're gonna die.
It's some just random people.
He's so stoned.
Multiple different kinds of people. They hit him in the balls with a hockey puck. Watch this. This dude is Canadian, obviously. And this dude's a serious hockey player too. He whips it in.
Bam! Right in the nuts.
He shot it right in.
He's a serious soccer player too.
And then Riley
Right
snows
in
him,
him.
and then I snow him right at the end after that. It's fucking amazing. It was so fun. He sent us a fucking picture of his nuts afterwards, and oh my black, dude. Like, oh
He
my
did some
god.
damage. He did some damage.
Dude, I'm pretty sure, like, I don't know how he hasn't ruptured his fucking sack yet. Like,
No
fuck.
idea, bro.
Hey, the
like-
price you paid to go viral. I mean,
dude, he's
That's,
literally
good
viral
thing.
as viral gets because of shit like that. It's swing to the sack Sunday, baby.
Oh, yeah.
The amount of children that came running up to us afterwards,
Oh
and they're
my
like, "Oh my god, you know Gucci
Beforehand.
Berry?" I was like,
Beforehand.
"Why are you watching this like
We
full
showed
blown
up
adult
to
and
the
hitting
rink
nuts?"
and like all these kids were just
I had
going
no idea who he was either.
crazy that Gucci Berry was at the hockey rink. They're what are you about to do, Gucci Berry? And he's like, I'm about to get shot in the nuts.
And then he watched us out there like taking practice shots, and he said, "All right, there's no fucking
Yeah,
way you're
I took a
doing that."
clap bomb and I went bar DZ, and he was like, "Yeah, I ain't about that."
Yep, we were
I
literally
told him
shooting
I
at
wasn't
the
gonna
blue
do a slap
line.
shot anyways, just because I don't have
No,
no
we would
control
kill
on
it.
that thing.
It would probably fucking kill him.
Yeah, probably.
That's the crazy part is
Yeah.
hockey pucks are not soft.
Yeah.
No.
He's a maniac for doing. I would never take a hockey. I've gotten shot in the nuts with a cup on, and it's
It
not
hurts.
fun. I can't even imagine straight
Hockey
to the balls.
hurts. Hockey
Yeah.
hurts a lot.
I imagine. But hey, I mean, sometimes you need pain for fame. You know.
Pain for
That's
fame.
like the road
Dude,
to
that's
getting
such
there.
a wild concept. Jackass did it very well.
They did.
Yeah.
Pain for fame.
Yeah. Maybe that's like a new avenue you guys go down. Like, what goes bump in the night? Like Jackass, like
Take
rip
bumps.
off, or like
I'm
you have
standing
some-
on top of the Eloise Asylum, and I'm gonna see if I can
You want
fly.
to hear a crazy idea
That's
that
right.
we swang once?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
we
yeah.
were talking
Let me
about
hear it.
doing an episode where we literally had a wrestling show.
We
Wait,
did a full coordinated wrestling show.
Like with
Live
actual
on the
wrestlers,
internet.
or like were you guys gonna like?
No,
do
no,
a
no,
us
it was gonna
wrestling
be like
each other.
our fucking like 200th live episode where we're gonna like make it like a special event and not tell anybody what it really is, except for like have it where it's like cryptics like fighting each other in ghosts or like places
Yeah,
and
so it'd
shit.
be like a ghost versus
What?
an alien.
But it would
in a
be like me and
hardcore
Riley like
match.
dressing up as idiots, like fucking fighting each other on a trampoline. And then like whoever wins gets the belt, and
The
it's like the bumpy
unfortunate part
belt.
is we don't know anyone with a trampoline.
Nope.
So
So it's probably not
Okay,
happening.
but
Use, like,
you
a
need
better
to find
story.
someone with a trampoline because I would see
Does
that.
that sound amazing?
I would come to that show. Yeah, I would.
Bro,
come to
we
that.
just dude, we sell tickets.
yeah, so
amazing.
if we get this video to 1,000 likes, we'll
this
do
video has to
it.
get to 1,000 likes before I put on a ghost sheet.
If you
and
made it
fight
2
Riley.
hours in and then you're the 1,000th person that's watched this and you didn't like this video, you fucked up.
If this gets to 10,000 likes, I'll put on a sheet, cut the eye holes out, make Riley do the same thing, and we'll box each other.
Yes.
full on
10,000
boxing.
likes will ghost
I
box.
want to see this. I want to see
Dude,
this.
that sounds amazing.
You can call it like what goes bump in the fight or something.
What goes wrong in the fight? That's amazing. I love that.
Yeah,
Dude, that's
it's
amazing.
like a special. I love that.
The
I would totally
welterweight
see that.
title of the world.
Yes.
The paranormal world, that is. And then we can fight other paranormal people. And they're like, yo,
Yes.
you guys
Oh,
got a
and
paranormal
then
fight club
You have,
going?
you have,
Like,
a, you have a poll like who do you want to see in the fight? I mean, you don't tell them it's a fight; they
Elon
just
Musk
show up.
and Mark
No,
Zuckerberg.
dude, that's what
Yeah.
all the YouTubers
But
are
you-
doing.
you
Now
guys
there's
would
going to
follow
be a
through.
YouTube
You would actually do
paranormal
it.
fight ring.
We have to do it. We start fighting each other, and then we fight everybody else that was on the show. Oh my god, that would be so stupid.
No, I think we would be the bosses, obviously.
Oh, dude, we could just be like
be the boss battle.
what is it? Like Vince McMahon. Just go fight each other. Oh my
Follow the
god.
script.
That would be seriously crazy. That would, that would be so crazy.
1,000
I
likes,
will watch
and you'll
that
get
one.
what goes bump in the fight.
10,000 will fight each other.
For
Telling
real.
you.
Has to be this specific video.
Oh, I'm fucking
Oh
crying.
dang. Okay.
It's the only time we're
Uh,
promoting it. This specific video.
well, I feel
God.
honored that I got the advance cue into the fight that's about to happen.
You can be the ring girl too if you want.
I want to be in the audience. I want to soak it all in.
He's not in the audience.
He's like, I want to drink a beer to this. No,
Can you
I'm-
please be the
Yeah.
one that stands up and says, "Twist his dick"?
Yes, I'll
Make
do
it
that.
twisted.
But I want to enjoy the show.
Oh man, that would be a fucking
And
sight to
with
see.
that being said, I hope everyone tonight has enjoyed the show, and make sure you go follow his channel, Afterlife Road Productions. Got
Listen
all
to
the
that
links
motherfucking
down
podcast
low.
too. And you
The
know
links
what?
to the podcast down
With
low,
that
too.
being said,
Everybody
about
in
the
here
fight
that's still
thing,
watching, and dude, everybody that's watched too, do you know what really, really helps outside of us fighting each other when we get 10,000 likes? Is literally leaving a comment wherever you listen to this, because it helps with the algorithms 100 million%, and it helps get our listener ears opened to other ears. So I said that so
Yes.
fucking weird, but
Yeah,
we're
you
good.
did. I think people can understand what we're talking
Dude,
about.
gibberish. It's fucking
Wait, what?
gibberish time.
We're not good
so
with
to get this
words.
straight, you want people to leave a comment.
Yeah, get that 5-star like
Yeah.
that. Go on iTunes, say like this is the best podcast
And then
ever.
Comment,
That's
they
what we
leave a
need.
comment. Once they leave a
comment what
comment,
goes bump
on-
in
if
the
they're on
fight, so
fucking-
we know you made it.
So where's this video being posted? They need to like it. YouTube.
Everywhere.
YouTube.
This is on YouTube for sure. But everywhere you have your listening pleasures for like
Oh.
podcasting pleasures.
Oh
go
yeah,
find
it'll
it.
be on that eventually.
It'll be on
as well.
every platform as well. Same with your platforms and everywhere
Okay,
you
but
can find your podcast.
but for the liking for the fight, they need to go where? To YouTube.
This
This
specific
video,
video.
this specific YouTube
This
video.
specific-
Yeah, if you're listening on
YouTube. So
Spotify,
if
it's
you're-
not gonna help.
If you're listening on Spotify, comment and then go to YouTube. It's a lot
Yes.
of work. But
We're-
it's worth
the
it.
title of
You're
this
about to
video is
interact with
going
it.
to be "What Goes Fight."
What goes fight
Yeah.
in the night? We're gonna change the name.
What Goes
Of
Fight
it.
in the Night. I think that one it's
Yes.
smoother, but it's good. That's it.
I will say that was the best segue to wrap an interview I've ever heard.
It's so smooth.
You know,
it just
you,
it
you-
rolls.
you go on this big thing hyping up this
Stupid
fight, and you say, "With that being said, go follow Afterlife Road."
It's like I feel like we could have been news anchors because it just comes so easily to just like, all right, we're gonna smooth our way out of this one and we're gonna go right to aliens. All right, we're gonna go right to Bigfoot. Okay,
Right.
and we're gonna fight each other. And it's time to go to
Right.
bed.
Exactly.
Hell yeah.
Fucking incredible.
So,
You're incredible. All of your
Yeah,
content is
absolutely.
incredible. I love
Oh,
watching
thanks.
your videos. Your investigation style is so much like ours that it's like it's very nice to see multiple people now that we've interviewed that like a lot of their videos, it has the same style, and it feels good to know that there's other people that are genuinely like doing what we're doing, and I love it.
hell yeah. And I mean, like when we went to Mouth, like we investigated well together. It was like any other person had been investigating with. So I've been going
Oh,
to
yeah.
the west side of the state a lot more often recently. So definitely gotta hook up again and do another investigation maybe with
easily.
activity.
100%.
Easily,
that,
you are
um,
one of the
yeah.
homies.
For sure.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
We'll have
So
to
I
come
look
out to
forward to
Lansing
that.
too, because that ain't far away.
Yeah, we'll
No,
just
I
like do like a split trip. We'll go one way, we'll go the other way.
Yeah,
Hell yeah. Let's do it.
Oh. I'm down. With that being said, folks, remember to keep your ears and eyes open for what really goes.
Bump. In the night. We love all of you.
Love you all.
Mwah.
Get us 10,000
I
likes.
love you, Ben. Mwah.